Zongman, Danmachi, 3 skills at the beginning. Chapter 21. The strength of the enemy. Question marks appeared on the heads of Icy and Rafia at the same time. This is what vision does. Flan was only LV.1 at this time, but his vision in his previous life was much wider than the two of them. He looked at the two girls with a smile, and then thought about it. It's good to use an analogy. Take me as an example. Do you think that if I trampled to death 10,000 ants, can my ability increase? Bang! Their minds were torn apart by lightning, and the two girls' eyes widened in an instant. The reactions of the two were all watched by Flan. He put down the paper and pen, and spread his hands. It seems that you have thought about it. As the strength becomes stronger and stronger, the strength of monsters can no longer be absorbed by you as experience points. This is the reason why the upgrade speed of high-level adventurers slows down. Imagine, if the 13th floor is full of monsters with a potential ability of LV.5, do you think the ability value will increase very quickly? To put it bluntly, you are too strong. The two teenage girls are shocked by Flan's theory, which is unheard of. Of course, even if there is always an opponent who can provide experience points, whether this person can continue to become stronger is also related to his potential. Human beings have limits, but possibilities are infinite. Having said that, Flan was silent for a while, leaving time for the girls to digest. If you want to improve your strength quickly, you must have a strong opponent while you have potential. Looking at the two beautiful girls, Flan held out 2 fingers. You probably don't lack such things as potential. After all, being able to reach such a high level in your teens is one of the few in Olali. After speaking, he put down a finger. Then, a powerful opponent. Let's not mention Rafia for the time being. As for Ice, it's no problem to fight across a level when magic is activated, so there are very few options for you. Okay. Ace was silent, he understood what Flan was referring to. Noticing that the girl's mood was beginning to drop, he changed his tone. Since there is no opponent under the existing conditions, it is better to create an opponent. Manufacture. This sharp turn caught them off guard, and they drove this smiling young man dumbfounded, not knowing what to say. Make an opponent. Of course it's impossible to create an opponent that can put pressure on Ice, so what about the other way around? Wouldn't it be enough to make Ice weaker? To make Miss Icy weaker? The fairy girl's sharp speech almost knocked off the roof of Flan's house. Hey, don't get excited, don't get excited. I didn't say anything about dismantling Icy's arms and legs. What does that mean? Flan sighed, there was nothing he could do about the lily goblin. It's useless to say it now, I'm still LV.1. I'll figure it out after I level up, okay. Hurry up to deal with this excited goblin, otherwise Flan is afraid that he will be hurt more. HMPH, mysterious. Ace looked at him expectantly, which put Flan under a lot of pressure. I really regret boasting. Wait for you. Wait for you. You. Miss Fairy, have you misunderstood something? Her reaction was dumbfounding. And just like that, an interesting day ushered in the night. Icy and Rafia left soon after, and he himself was obsessed with the magic knowledge written by Riveria. Plenty Mistress, Tavern. Today they welcomed the Loki family who returned from the expedition. Everyone, welcome. It's Hill-chan, she's still so cute. Thank you for your compliment, then let's drink more tonight. Loki and Hill greeted each other. As for whether they had ulterior motives or not, only the person involved would know. Mom Mia, serve the wine. The excited Loki revealed his hidden spirit, holding up a big wine glass and shouting. Give me a drink. Cheers. Gudong. Everyone raised their heads and blew away the drinks in their glasses, chatting while eating, and it was extremely lively. Come on, head, I'll fill you up. Well, Tion, I've just filled it up, don't be like that. Oh, Captain, don't be humble. Looking at the interaction between the two, Tiona was speechless, and her sister is now a nympho, which is really easy to handle. It made her have a headache when she saw this appearance, so she decided to keep out of sight and out of mind. Look left, look right, everyone is talking about interesting topics. Just in time to see IC in a daze, she leaned over. Hey, Ace. What did you and Rafia quietly talk about at Flan's place today? Ace was holding her wine glass, actually water, with Tiona entangled her arm. Well, about the bottleneck. Oh, tell me about it too. It is good. The cat ears of a certain clerk who was serving food to everyone moved, as if she had heard an extraordinary name. Flan. Meow, Flan. Is that Mr. Flan Algon? Huh. But Roy, have you met Flan? No way. Tiona seemed to have discovered something novel, and turned her head to stare at the black-haired catwoman nonstop. Then I saw the black cat's ears trembling, staring at the sword princess, Icy Wallenstein for a while, and then meowing a little bit in a bluff exclaimed. That's right meow, with the same blonde hair and golden eyes as GNG, tilde it's as tall as 185 centimeters, about as tall as two Braves, meow. By the way, he looks super handsome too, meow. Quote. That little brother passed by the tavern early yesterday morning and stopped to watch meow for a long time, and even made a bet with us. He said he would come here for a big meal in the evening after returning triumphantly, but it's a pity that he didn't come in the evening, meow. It won't be the same as I said, right? Everyone was attracted by their topics. Once they heard that it was about Flan, and then they heard that the kid was uttering wild words, I immediately showed my curious eyes. Little Catwoman, what's going on? Tell us about it. Meow, that's the way it is. After listening, everyone in the Loki family burst out laughing. Ha 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 ha, he himself said such a thing. It's ridiculous. In Loki's words, this is obviously setting up a flag. Ha, ha ha, it's not as serious as you said, but it's true that I lost half my life. Bert almost died of laughter, bent over while clutching his stomach, and almost got under the table. The topic here also attracted other shop assistants. Liu, Lenova, and Anya also came over. What's the matter meow, my brother is so unlucky on his first day exploring the dungeon meow. Finn smiled and took a sip of wine. Ah, I just found out that he still made this kind of agreement with you. Also, he's not as tall as two of me. Luce put the dishes on the table in a serious manner, and then affirmed his actions with the same tone. If he can come back alive, he will be an excellent adventurer. He must have grown a lot after going through this incident. Rifia looked at her fellow clan and nodded quickly. Mr. Flan is strong, Miss Lu, it's true. It is worth mentioning that after the girl finished saying this, none of the high-ranking members of the Loki familia who were the first-level adventurers in front of them refuted, including that Tsunere wolf. There is an unusual smell meow. Liu straightened up and exchanged glances with the other shop assistant girls. This time it was their turn to be curious about what happened. However, the companions of the family did not mention a word, just laughed and said nothing. This is all the idea of Rocky and the Big Three. I hope that when Flan has not grown up, he will pay as little attention as possible and not put too much pressure on him. Everyone revealed this matter with a ha-ha, and then each talked about their own. At this time, the protagonist, who has just finished reading the book at home, is completely unaware of what happened in the tavern. He certainly didn't expect that he would become a topical figure, and the only black spot was exposed. I'm afraid this matter will become quite dark history. Putting the precious book aside, he went down to the ground for a while. Perhaps it was because of the increase in ability value, he recovered much faster than Riveria judged. Apart from the aching ribs, there is nothing serious about his body, at least there is no problem with free movement, as long as he does not engage in high-intensity combat. Standing in front of the window, looking at the night view of Orario, Flan murmured. Go to the He Faith Toss family tomorrow, it's time to put the development of ability on the agenda. After moving his body a little, he put on a set of black underwear kindly sponsored by Raoul, carried the portable magic stone lamp and got into the library again, and began to struggle. He completely forgot about the sequelae of physical and mental disharmony caused by the substantial increase in ability value. When he thinks about it, he will definitely want to cry without tears. The moment when the morning light begins to come from the huge walls of the city. In the courtyard of the Twilight Pavilion, there is already a figure exercising. The figure holding the wooden sword kept waving in the air, the golden hair was scattered behind him, and the clear golden pupils were shining brightly. Sword Princess Esther Wallenstein, wielding the wooden hilt with the strength that fully fits her title, the sound of breaking wind played a wonderful symphony this morning. It is said that he has persisted in this kind of hard training for 7 or 8 years, regardless of the weather. From this point of view, the scenery of the strong standing on the stage is indispensable to the silent sweat behind it. Crunch. The gate of the mansion was gently pushed open on one side, with gauze wrapped around his head and dark circles under his eyes. He stood on the stairs and stretched fiercely, breathing in the morning air greedily. Hey! Icy noticed the movement, stopped the movements in her hands, and tilted her head slightly while maintaining the posture of holding the sword, with confusion on her delicate and pretty face like a doll. Flan also noticed her. The two stared at each other in silence for a moment, and the blonde young man with a bit of machismo in his heart opened up the topic. What a coincidence, Ace. Do you get up early every day for morning exercises? The girl who put down the wooden knife turned around, pursed her lips and nodded, and made a cute, sound in her nasal voice, and then she asked a rare rhetorical question. Flan, are you staying up late at the library again? The young man scratched his head in embarrassment, grinning wryly. Why does everyone know? The girl walked over slowly, and pointed at his sunken eye sockets and dark circles, as well as his pale complexion, with her slender fingers. Obviously, even if it is, I can. A bit stuttering and cute, obviously trying to organize his words. It's a bit out of line for a puppet princess who doesn't talk often. Well, everyone is very strong, how can it be possible if you don't work hard to catch up? If you don't do anything, what right do you have to have illusions? Flan is amazing. He was praised by the heart-beating girl again. He touched his neck with reddish cheeks, and then changed the topic. Ace shouldn't have finished exercising, right? Then I'll leave first. Is there something wrong with going out so early? I'm going to He-Faith Toss family to find a blacksmith. The girl nodded, knowing what he meant. Find a blacksmith to help make weapons, probably. I'm going to learn forging and make weapons for myself, don't you think it's very romantic? Click. Ice vaguely seemed to be able to hear her ruthless mask being shattered again. Hey. The girl tilted her head with a puzzled expression, and she decided to ask Grace. They must understand this kind of romance, right? Hey, Ace. Come and eat. At this moment, in the open-air corridor upstairs, Tiona kept waving and shouting at her. Coming. Speaking of which, that's Flan, right? Running outside so early, the rookie is trying too hard. It makes my body start to move around. Tiona blinked and muttered to herself. He-Faith Toss the family is not only the super forging faction of Olali, but also the leading forging faction in the whole world. In the labyrinth city of Orari, the Magic Stone Industrial Area is located on the Northeast Avenue, or this area is all Magic Stone industry. Including workers hired from the Union, and blacksmiths who forged factions. As the head of the forging faction, the residence of the He-Faith family is also located here. Walking through the industrial area, after a casual inquiry, Flan stood in front of their headquarters. Hello, this is the headquarters of He-Faith familiars, what can I do? The guard approached Flan politely. As a prestigious super forging faction, countless people visit the door every day, including family members, chambers of commerce, and even outside nobles. It was still early, and Flan just happened to miss that spectacle. There is a man I want to ask of you, Welf Crozo. Can you call him out for me? It's him. The guard looked surprised. This one is a freak. He obviously has that kind of craftsmanship but doesn't make magic swords or anything. Please help spread the word, saying that I didn't ask him to forge the magic sword, I just wanted to meet him. Sure, so what's your name? Flan Algon, Loki Familia. The Loki family. The guard's eyes changed slightly. Flan always felt that the name of the family was more useful than expected. Okay, I'll get in touch with you right now. Please wait a moment. In the blacksmithing workshop where the sound of hammering iron can be heard endlessly, the red-haired young man kept swinging the hammer at the red-hot metal. The burning fire is heated to an awe-inspiring temperature by the precious ore, flame stone, from the deep. Sweat dripped from his cheeks like a flowing stream, and then fell to the ground with a chi-chi sound. Welf, someone is looking for you. Didn't you say don't bother me, I will never. You kid is so stubborn, listen to me, he didn't come to ask you to fight the magic sword. There should be something else. The red-haired young man frowned, looked at the messy metal surface knocked by him again, and cut. When Flan met the heir of the Crozo family for the first time, he He seemed to be thinking about some difficult problem, with an awkward expression on his face. Although the time is not right, go for a drink. Row. Communication between men and men is so simple. Located in the 6th district in the southwestern part of the city, there is a rather stylish cafe called Viche, built in a complex narrow road. This is a shop run by goblins. The boss wears glasses and looks very gentlemanly. Flan, who has just arrived, knows this kind of surprise shop. Of course it was recommended by others, and it is indeed the shop opened by Lefia's fellow villagers. They are all fairies from the forest of Vincent. The store is nice, and the coffee is delicious. We're all men, so let's stop beating around the bush. Welf has the straightforwardness and ability of a blacksmith, and is completely lacking in the smoothness of a businessman and nobleman. Flan likes this direct character very much. Stirring the coffee with a spoon, he smiled and said, I saw the information on the bulletin board that you are looking for a team. You want to increase the level so that you can gain the development ability of forging, right? Quote. That's right. When I went to the union headquarters to register, Flan found the adventurer commission posted in the corner. He was just paying attention before, but he didn't expect that he would improve so quickly. With the magic advanced skills and ability values he has mastered now, it is more than enough to bring this blacksmith along and explore the lower floors as a team. That's right, it was my commission. Then you accepted it. Welf was pleasantly surprised when he heard that he was looking for teammates to form a team. For some reason, he was rejected by the family, but if he wanted to increase his level, the problem was that he needed valuable advanced experience points, so he had to go deep into the dungeon. In the situation of being alone, places like the 10th, 11th, and 12th floors are too risky for him, and he will die if he is not careful, so the cart before the horse. In the end, it was forced to make a bad move, and it was announced that the adventurer commissioned people from outside the family to form a team. Let me introduce myself. My name is Flan Algon, you can call me Flan. Well, let's put it this way, I'm LV.1 just like you, and I'm confident that I can easily deal with floors within 12 floors by forming a team with you. Welf looked into his rare golden eyes suspiciously, as if he was joking again. Thinking about it empathetically, if it was me, I would do the same, right? It's really hard to make people believe in strangers they meet for the first time. How about this? Let's try to form a team to explore first. You think I'm okay, how about signing a contract? Judging from his appearance, this blonde young man should not be a liar, and he has said so, he has nothing to lose. So Welf decided to try first. That's it, when? Tomorrow, I need to prepare. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning, gather at the fountain in the central square. By the way, I don't want gold coins as a commission reward. What do you need? Don't look like me, but be quite confident in your craft. Flan looked at the proud young man, his lips curled up and his eyes turned into crescents. Just teach me the basic knowledge and basic operations of a blacksmith. Nani. Welf was dumbfounded for a while, stupefied on the spot. What kind of request is this? There are a lot of apprenticeships like this in the industrial area, right? Can you just find any place? Why did you go all the way to find him? I know you are Welf Crozo. And you can make a magic sword. I hope you can make a magic sword in front of me, even a small dagger. This time Welf narrowed his eyes. What you want, is the technology to create a magic sword. Flan nodded generously. Yeah, you don't make magic swords for others. I can understand your belief as a blacksmith. After all, it seems evil for a magic sword to abandon its master. But I don't need the magic sword, I just want to see your skills, no problem. This is the first time Welf has heard of such a strange request. Could it be that he also wants to become a blacksmith? After thinking about it, crafting a magic sword depends on craftsmanship, and it's no secret among senior blacksmiths about craftsmanship, the most important thing is quality. Yes, can I ask which family you belong to? The Loki family. Hey. My situation is quite special. Welf was extremely astonished and confused. The member of the Loki family actually asked him to learn forging skills. Then he shook his head, not understanding. Then see you tomorrow. After speaking, Flan pushed the door and left quite naturally, and soon disappeared. Hey, you asked me to pay. Can't drink coffee without money. After a morning tea in vain, Flan whistled and returned to the station in a beautiful mood. Just after entering the gate, a burst of fierce fighting sounds came first. Flan, go out early in the morning. In the courtyard, the Amazon sisters were going crazy for some reason, and Flan was terrified by the fist-to-body fighting skills of the two. Even the younger sister still had time to say hello to herself, but in the end, she punched her hard on the face in such a short time, the strength. Well, what are you guys doing? As he spoke, Flan's eyes were fixed on their battle. There are not many opportunities for such high-level adventurers to fully demonstrate their battle-tested combat skills in front of their own eyes. The current Flan is like finding a child who loves games, absorbing their experience with crazy greed. In the golden pupils, an empty blue circle of light appeared, and the reader had already been activated. Till School of Fighting Technique. Fighting skills from the remote peninsula country, the country of female warriors Do Guo. The country is ruled by a god named Kali. In that country, every child is engraved with grace from birth, and then begins to fight. That's right, it's a battle between people, a bloody battle, a ruthless death fight. Just like raising GU, the person who wins in the end can gain experience enough to sublimate and become the strongest. This is the situation in that country, extremely chaotic, extremely bloody, and extremely dark. The sisters Tion and Tiona ran away from that country. For them, this kind of fighting should be commonplace, Flan who secretly learned so thought. Boom. He punched his younger sister, and the two of them stopped. Tiona spat out blood, and reprimanded her sister viciously. Tion, I'm saying hello to Flan, and you're sneaking up. Despicable. What are you talking about, my stupid sister? Fighting is always unscrupulous, and if you want to blame it, it's your carelessness. He, the leader said that ladies should be reserved, look at your appearance now. The inside of Tion's eye sockets turned completely black, and a black miasma rose from his body, and the oppressive feeling on his face almost didn't frighten Flan's heart to collapse. Tion, stop arguing, Flan is scared to death. Fortunately, Finn poked his head out of the window, persuading him with a helpless expression. Leader Tiona shrugged and sighed to the dumbfounded Flan. My sister is so easy to deceive. Flan didn't dare to answer this question, what if he was caught later? He is still so weak. By the way, why did you go? I saw you and Icy in the courtyard this morning. Ah, I went out to find a blacksmith, and formed a team to go to the dungeon by the way. Tiona put her hands behind her back, leaned her upper body forward and raised her head, blinking curiously. Wow, you actually went to form a team with people from other families, there are so many people in our family. Flan was forced to lean back, and explained with a wry smile. I don't really want to ask everyone to accompany me to the dungeon. After all, it's only the upper level, and it will cause trouble for others. It just so happened that an adventurer asked me to pick it up, and with the money being relatively tight. Tiona nodded suddenly, this kind of thing is easy to understand. Everyone came from that stage, right? It's normal to be struggling as a new adventurer, right? By the way, Flan. Come here. This time, it was Sunrivaria, the mother of the elf royal family, who greeted through the window, and he greeted himself as if he had something important to do. That's it, I'll go up first, Tiona. Okay Well, it's so boring. Ace seems to have gone to the dungeon again, so let's play with Rafia. The character of Amazon's sister is like a little angel, and her sister is two extremes. The other side. Through the air corridor between the towers, Flan came to the top of the northernmost tower. This is the office of the head of the family, Finn, where the big three usually make plans and approve documents. Dang. Come in. Push the door open, sure enough. Including Dwarf Grace, none of the big three are here. Excuse me. It's okay, after all, I called you here. Flan's personality is quite soft, and there is a background of higher education and etiquette between his words. This is also the reason why Flan has a good relationship with almost everyone after he first integrated into this big family. As a newcomer, we seniors shouldn't have decided for you without authorization. But when Riveria said this, she was a little stuck. I don't know how to express it euphemistically. What she meant was that you were too unlucky. You almost lost half your life when you explored the dungeon for the first time. Not only did you lose all your income, but you also lost your weapons. This goblin is full of maternal love and wants to give you something. Riveria's face turned red. Rude dwarf, what kind of maternal love is overflowing? Ah, I know, stubborn elf. The old friends who have known each other for many years don't like this at all, and waved Riveria away. This handle is, well, because of my identity, my fellow clan who came to the city gave it to me forcibly when they visited me. I can only hold it as a collection, and it is useless. You should be a wizard for your own development path. Flan was dumbfounded at this series of twists and turns. He didn't dare to interrupt the teasing among the bosses at will. Not only for the elders, but also for the strong. Yes, only monkeys don't like magic. Finn smiled wryly. I don't know how the monkey offended you. The material of this scepter is the magic crystal made of water celestine and the secret crystal of the gem beast. It is not a precious thing. But it is enough for you. Give it a name. He took the box from Riveria, opened it and wrapped a scepter in a black cloth. The length of the scepter is about 1 meter. The body of the scepter is engraved with patterns and carvings belonging to the fairy culture with considerable craftsmanship. A magic crystal is wrapped around the head of the scepter, and the mysterious brilliance circulates in it. It's more of a craft than a weapon. Open hollow lens bracket water Kang scepter close hollow lens bracket. Simple and easy to understand. Then you have to make good use of this weapon. Thank you so much. It was the first time in his life that he received such a precious gift. Although the bosses didn't take it seriously, Flan, who was familiar with the items produced in the dungeon, knew that whether it was the water celestial stone or the secret crystal of the gem beast, it would only drop from the lower layers. The market price of a small piece of treasure is as high as hundreds of thousands of mana, which is far beyond what he can bear now. For him to use, this thing is considered high-end. You don't need to thank us. The family members advocated the cultivation of newcomers. This is what us old-timers should do. Riveria pretended to be nonchalant and explained in a fairly official tone. You have to work hard, Flan. We and Loki are looking forward to your future very much, and want to see how much change you can bring to the family when you grow up. Flan nodded, bowed his thanks and backed out, closing the door behind him. The kid is a little too modest, which is not good. Excessive modesty creates a sense of distance. Well, it will be fine after he gets used to it for a while. Didn't Tion and Bert do the same thing? When they first joined the Familia. Ha 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 ha, it's all black history. Several old people chatted about the memories of the past, and they all sighed. I think there were only the 3 of them in the family, when they first came to Olali. Holding the box containing the scepter, Flan returned to his room excitedly. Dharma, staff. The first staff in my life, I am a little excited. This is not a figure, but a magic wand. Seeing the weapons in the hands of the wizards in the family, Flan said it was impossible not to be envious. Which mage doesn't want to have a powerful staff of his own? However, the reality is always so skinny, from books on magic knowledge, to props, to equipment, how can there be any cheap ones? Among them, the staff as the main weapon is even more important. With Flan's current income, it is impossible to get such a top-quality root within a month or 2, and he has to say that he does not eat or drink. But exploring the dungeon also requires cost, and if you calculate it carefully, the time will have to be doubled. This is still an open Flan, what about ordinary people? Laughing at himself, Flan put the water Kang staff away, and then began to pack up his clothes. Don't think about equipment or anything, wait until you have money. Mainly backpacks. Considering the compatibility between myself and wealth, as a defender mage, I don't need too much mobility while providing fire support, so I can also work as a supporter. I need a backpack, go to Raul. A candidate came to mind, good old Raul. Do you want to borrow a backpack? Is it for exploring the dungeon? The bag was blown up before, and you know it. And, the money is relatively tight, and I haven't had time to buy it yet. I thought it was a big deal, it was just a bag. Here, this is enough. Don't look at Raul who usually only knows how to be Finn's little tail. He is a serious LV.4, and the average of all attributes reaches the C segment. Naturally, the backpack he uses cannot be too small. I saw that the size of this backpack is almost 1000*500*500, which belongs to the kind used by professional supporters. The workmanship is also very particular. The leather used is very comfortable to the touch. I don't know what kind of monster's hard leather it is made of. That's enough, I'll treat you to a drink when I triumph. Hey, don't set up flags indiscriminately. Flan's face darkened, and he wished he could slap Kuroi's catgirl to death. That was an accident, ahem. Rahul laughed happily, winking for a while. Mentality explosion. Along the way, Flan's black face exudes a black miasma that strangers stay away from all over his body, which is terrifying. The city of Orario repeats the same street scene every day. Workers leave their homes and shops open their doors. The crowd of adventurers gathered at the giant chalk tower, ready to set off to explore the dungeon. With a large backpack on his back and a beautiful scepter slung from the side of his leather belt, Flan finally looked like an adventurer. The two-leg pockets also contained the recovery medicine and spiritual recovery medicine given by the partners who saw him off in the morning, and even Icy gave him a dagger as a spare for the first time. Flan was dizzy and thanked everyone quickly. Short sword number 2, this quality, about 10,000 mana, right? The recovery medicine costs 1,000 mana each, and the mental power recovery medicine is even more expensive. I owe a lot of favors, so I don't have to worry about the debts. I'll just pay them back when I become stronger. Taking a few deep breaths to calm down his disturbed emotions, he held on to the straps of his backpack with both hands and came to the Tower of Babel. The vast and huge square, every time you stand here, you will be shocked, and you will marvel at the near-god skills. Beside the magnificent fountain built by the famous craftsman, Daedalus, a red-haired young man had been waiting there for a long time. Flan stood there and observed around, and soon noticed him, smiled and walked over. Yo, I'm not late. Welf looked at his luggage and nodded. Ah, it's me who came early. Are you wearing a supporter's attire? I forgot to say yesterday that I'm a defender, a mage. Since two people form a team, it's no problem for you to be the forward, and I'm in charge of firepower and support. No problem, it's just the first few floors, I can still handle that level. Okay, let's go then. The two sides nodded, and entered the basement level of the Tower of Babel side by side, and walked down the spiral staircase surrounding the huge void into the underground city. On the way, the two exchanged briefly. For the first time forming a team, there will inevitably be omissions in coordination. If you believe me, you can rest assured about the defense of the back, and there is also the issue of fire support. On the floor we are going to, monsters do not have long-range attack capabilities. As long as you pay attention to your position and formation, and be careful not to be surrounded by monsters, the difficulty of the strategy will be greatly reduced. Speaking of which, Flan glanced at Welf's weapon, and roughly judged the range of his attack. How many monsters can you deal with at the same time? For Shadow of War, 4 are fine. Flan nodded, and began assigning tasks according to Welf's strength. I understand, 4 are just enough to handle, so try to keep the number of 2 at the same time, and I will be the first to eliminate them if they exceed the warning line. As for the rest time, keep the 30-minute breaks and 5-minute breaks, okay. Welf turned his head to look at him in surprise, and asked involuntarily. I can't tell, you still have the ability to command. Flan shrugged. Have you never eaten pork or seen a pig run? The experience of the previous life can always play a role. The group leader who has been in the group for several years is not joking with you, okay. Ah, the two of us, you are an avant-garde, the pressure of facing monsters will make your mind confused, and your vision is not as wide as my defender. It is more appropriate for me to take an overview of the whole situation. I don't see how reliable you are. I've never heard that there is someone like you in the Loki family. It's just a small person. At my level, there are countless Crucian carp crossing the river in the city. Maybe the weak and small human supporters also have particularly good commanding skills. Ha ha ha, don't be joking. If there is such a talent, those powerful families would have already fought for it. As soon as he finished speaking, Welf saw Flan looking at him with a weird, teasing smile, which made him choke back his words in fright. Hey, what you said is not true, is it? Flan's eyes were meaningful, he smiled and said nothing. Tisk, you man. It's so awkward to talk halfway. That's why I hate mages like you. Hey, Chinwei, spawn monsters. I know, I'm so annoying. Welf pulled out the broad two-handed machete from behind, and rushed forward with a shout. The first few floors are basically small goblins, kobolds, etc. With Welf's ability value close to upgrade, one person can easily deal with it without Flan's fire support at all. His job is to collect magic stones and props dropped by monsters, commonly known as picking up money. Along the way, the two of them were invincible, there was no single enemy, they were basically slashed down with big knives, and turned into flying ash directly. Welf brandished a broadsword ahead, and Flan watched him fight carefully. With his terrifying mental power, he was compared with the Tion sisters in his deep memory. Obviously Welf's combat skills and experience are quite rough, but it is not without merit. He is very adaptable to his own weapon, it should be a customized weapon for himself. It feels quite smooth to swing, relying on the performance of the weapon to make up for my lack of experience and skills. As for the game or something, it's not at all okay. What? After killing the last monster with one blow, he breathed a sigh of relief. 30 minutes are up, you take a break. I will clean the battlefield. Welf nodded and put away his weapon, sat on the rock and drank water. Phew, speaking of having supporters to assist, the combat efficiency of allowing adventurers to devote themselves wholeheartedly is indeed much higher. It took only half an hour to reach the third floor. I have never experienced this kind of efficiency before. Flan quickly took the magic stone from the monster's corpse, chatting with him. It stands to reason that the teammates in Hephaestus Familia, and your team must not be weak, so why is the efficiency so low? Come on, stop it. Those fools. Ah, because of your ability to forge the magic sword, but you stubbornly don't approve of that thing, do you think you are reckless? Well, that's what happened. Putting everything away, Flan carried the purse with a smile on his face, felt the weight of the gold coins, and sighed contentedly. I think the magic sword is very strong. On both sides of the scale, one is your own life, and the other is the magic sword. How do you choose? Tisk. The red-haired youth, who was disturbed by the question from Flan's soul, simply turned his head away with wandering eyes. Ha ha ha, let's go. This kind of thing should be understood when you meet a trustworthy partner. Hey you guy, you look about the same age as me, and you talk like an old man. Are you 16 years old? I am 4 or 5 years older than you. I am a senior. Precious life experience needs to be eroded and precipitated by time. Get it, junior. As time went by, the cooperation between the two became more subtle, and the efficiency of the strategy began to increase. After splitting the last monster in half, they reached the 7th floor, surpassing the previous highest record. Welf realized belatedly at this time that this guy kept teasing himself, which made him relax a lot during the battle. Not only the mentality, but also the fighting skills have become smoother. You deliberately. Flan still had the expression of a money fanatic. That's why it's called senior's experience. Young man. Crack. The wall cracked again and monsters were born. Hey, this amount. I don't know what's going on in the dungeon, but I always make little surprises for the adventurers, such as refreshing more than a dozen monsters at a time. Ah, go to the steps on the other side of the passage, it will be much easier to guard the entrance. With that, Flan turned and ran up the stairs, letting Welf guard the stairs. On the 7th floor of the dungeon, Flan and Welf ushered in a welcome party. Killer ants, it's hard to handle, with my level 3 as the limit. This is a powerful monster that appears from the 7th floor, and it is called the Rookie Killer, together with the War Shadow, that appears on the 6th floor. Its solid hard shell and its attack power, which is incomparable to the low-level monsters of the previous layers, are the reasons why they can have this elegant name. The hard shell covers the whole body, and its hardness is comparable to ordinary armor. If it's that kind of half-baked attack, let alone break the defense and hurt it, it's already excellent if it doesn't get bounced off. Therefore, it is quite a difficult skill to inflict direct damage through that carapace. It has 4 sharp claws on the front of its arms. The crooked and twisted protrusions prove its identity, and the eerie luster it emits makes the hairs stand on end just by looking at it. Generally, the rookies planted in its hands were torn to pieces by the terrifying claws before breaking through the defense. The strength of the killer ants is a bit higher than the monsters on the first 6 floors. The newcomers are completely unaccustomed to this sudden change in fighting intensity. It is normal to be killed suddenly. Chirp 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 chirp. The mouth parts of the killer ants were chewing and creaking. Ants and the like are all monsters that live in groups. It will call its companions, and when it is in crisis, it can emit pheromone-like substances that adventurers cannot detect. High attack, high defense, and even shouting. Tisk tisk. Flan-faced, killer ants, for the first time, carefully recalled their characteristics, and couldn't help laughing. Hey, we are all surrounded, there are nearly 20 of them, you can still laugh. Isn't it already occupying a good location? You just need to resist, and leave the rest to me. As he spoke, Flan drew out his water scepter from his side for the first time. With a staff in hand, he chanted a magical incantation. Using the end. Ragnarok. Crackling. The scarlet lightning flicked sporadically, and then there was a chuss. Black flames and dark red lightning erupted violently on the surface of the body, and only a figure and a pair of golden pupils could be vaguely seen in the flames. A strange shadow shone on the rock wall like a demon, and for a moment, Flan, who was shrouded in additional magic, seemed to be a different person. The powerful aura oppressed and even blew away the strong wind. The ground also began to make a sizzling, baking sound, gradually melting. Magic. Welf turned his head abruptly, looked at him dumbfounded, his eyes widened a lot. Magic, that's another level of power. Among adventurers, possessing magic means being able to become the core of the team, the absolute center. Except for the natural magic race like goblins, other races generally only have 1 to 3 magic slots, and 90% of them have only one. It is a pity that having a magic slot may not necessarily awaken magic. This is a rather idealistic power, depending on personal potential. Welf smashed it, smashed it. Sure enough, there is not a single ordinary person who came out of the Loki family. Explosive. The scepter in the left hand pointed forward, and the precious magic crystal made of the secret crystal of the gem beast began to flow black magic brilliance. Then, the berserk fireballs amplified by the staff converged and turned into destroyers with playful tail flames, exploding directly in the crowd of monsters. Boom 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 boom. A huge roar resounded through the cave, and a powerful shock wave spread out. The astonishing power shook even the walls of the passageway to scatter rubble. When the smoke and dust cleared, Welf put down the big knife in front of him, dumbfounded for a while. Within the horizon, half of the original group of monsters had been wiped out. There was even a small hole in the ground, and the rocks were melting. Hey! Flaming. Boom 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 boom. I can't finish talking now. Flan, who has been enchanted by magic, seems to have changed his personality. His expression Zhongyang is incomparable, and the excitement and longing in the golden pupils are intertwined. 3 rounds. After only 3 explosions, the entire passageway was completely destroyed, not to mention monsters, even most of the magic stones were destroyed. Billowing blue smoke billowed from the miserable battlefield, and the rocky ground seemed to be carbonized. Tisk. Putting away his staff, Flan shook his head regretfully and sighed. Magic is not good at this point, it is too powerful, and the magic stone is destroyed. Cough cough cough. The disheveled Welf got up in embarrassment, was stunned for a while, and then opened his mouth to curse. You fool, I almost got involved, be careful, hey. Also, what expression did you have just now? It's weird. Flan's cheeks stiffened, his eyes drifted away. Hold, sorry, it's a bit over the top, but, don't you feel the comfort of destroying everything, super cool. Super saboteur. Is there a devil in him? Hey. Welf sat cross-legged on the ground, lowered his head and sighed. Okay, I will pay attention next time. You rest for a while, I will collect the money first, no, clean the battlefield. Did you just say picking up money? You must have heard wrong. No, I can hear clearly. There was a lot of noise, and the wallet bulged a lot. Here Flan finished his work, Welf also finished his repairs, and then the two set foot on the road again. By the way, you are using additional magic, right? I remember that the usage of additional magic can only be covered on the body surface. Welf and Flan chatted first after beheading the single, killer ant. A new usage that I developed on a whim when I was repeatedly jumping between life and death. Since it is an attached magic, it can also be attached to other substances, including air. Others can do this kind of usage. For example, Sword Fairy, she usually attaches magic to the sword, and occasionally throws the wind out when she cooperates with her teammates. It's just that the efficiency of her doing that is very low. After all, wind magic does not have the characteristic of explosion. Through Flan's explanation, Welf finally understood the ins and outs. It turns out that it is like this, and it is not surprising that it has that kind of power through the amplification of the staff. What a ghost. Your magical power, are you sure it is LV.1? It's too exaggerated. This is really hard to explain. Flan can't tell him that he has a skill bonus, right? Polymath. You can choose 2 development abilities each time. Learn magic without being restricted by the magic slot. When using magic swords and magic tools, the power is greatly increased. Double magic power, range. The skill, Erudite, doubles the power, range, and range of magic, which is why Flan's output is so explosive. In addition, Reader's super strengthening of mental power allows him to increase the combat life without limit before his mental power is exhausted. To sum up, Flan is a mobile turret when magic is turned on. But, at this level of popularity, Flan only considers him a level A. What he really longed for was the wide area annihilation magic chanted in the ultra-long text. After that, it will definitely be refreshing and refreshed. With the rear firepower of Flan, the mobile turret, Welf felt a lot easier. When advancing, every time the number of monsters exceeds the expected number or breaks through the defense range of the two, he will turn into a Balrog without hesitation and burn everything to death. It's a pity that the efficiency of spawning monsters has increased, but the number of magic stones has not increased. My magic stone. The corner of Welf's mouth twitched, and he complained. I said why are you so stingy? You won't have any magic stones. The savings accumulated from building the magic sword before made him have no idea how cruel the feeling of poverty is, and he dared to make sarcastic remarks. Have you ever experienced the feeling of having only 30 mana all over your body? Look at my equipment. The recovery potion is sponsored by the family members, the staff is a gift from Riveria, and the backpack is borrowed by Guan Raul. Yes, even the clothes belong to Raul. Only the shoes and underwear are my own. Quote. Gold coins are easy to repay, but debts of favor are hard to repay. Do you understand? Welf's face was full of confusion. Seeing this handsome blonde youth cry out in grief and indignation, he didn't know how to comfort him. You also learn blacksmithing to make money. Otherwise, you should know how expensive the weapons and equipment items and consumption of wizards are. Flan hasn't said yet, if he cheats himself to improve his strength, he still has to spend a lot of money. Money, how much pressure is there for outsiders to know? Well, you're poor too. But with your strength, if you explore the dungeon diligently, you'll soon be rich. As he spoke, he patted Flan on the shoulder with a look of relief. Okay, it's time to rest. Up ahead is a passage on the 12th floor. The two looked at each other, the corners of their mouths raised. Walk. The 12th floor is the last floor on the upper floor, and the next floor is the 13th floor, which is also the middle floor. Unlike the upper floors, across such a large level, the strength and refresh rate of monsters all increase in a trapezoidal manner. According to the guild information, the potential ability of the monsters on the upper level is judged to be LV.1, and the strength increases sequentially from the first level to the 12th level, and the monsters on the 12th level have the combat power of LV. As for the 13th floor belonging to the middle level, the monster's potential is directly increased to LV.2. If adventurers who have not sublimated to LV rashly explore, what awaits them is a massacre. Coupled with the number and rate of refreshes that cannot be handled at all, as well as monsters with long-range attacks and abnormal attacks, if you are not careful, you may fall into a vicious circle where more and more monsters can be attacked, and you can't handle them no matter what. When the physical strength and energy of the adventurers start to be consumed to the critical value, and they start to get injured, it is impossible to regroup. At this time, the dungeon will give you a decisive blow. The time had come, so it judged. Inadvertently, a little bit of accumulated exhaustion, a little bit of mistakes, and finally accumulated despair, this is the dungeon. Crack crack. Welf stopped and looked down at something, a dead branch. Is this the dungeon's natural weapons depot? Carrying a huge backpack and following behind the blacksmith, Flan, who was vigilantly observing his surroundings, responded with an ah. Weapons made of dead branches and tree trunks, together with the monster's natural strength, are basically finished after being attacked once. Tisk, with such a thick fog, the field of vision is limited. Be careful, there are large species starting to appear here, it is very dangerous. Don't worry, this knife is here. Careful, here comes, 5, no, 6, 7. Through the thick fog, black shadows surrounded the two of them, and even Flan didn't notice. Did the fog cloud your judgment? Ah, I'm not a professional scout, and I don't have the ability to detect. Forget it, use magic. Ah, there's no way. Along the way, the frequent use of magic, or the use of pyroburst, to infuse excess mental power, even with skill enhancements, has consumed more than 1/3 by now. In order to ensure combat effectiveness, Flan began to use spiritual recovery medicine, supplements from the 10th floor to keep himself energetic, which is more than 80%. Now that he has finally reached his destination, he doesn't have to hold back anymore. As long as you reserve the spare energy for the return trip, the rest will be squandered at will. Using the end Ragnarok blast, the front finger of the staff, the continuous explosion filled the 12 floors. Boom 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 L. Twilight Pavilion. In the courtyard, Icy sat on a bench, basking in the sun blankly. In the depths of the golden pupils there was a hint of subtle emotional fluctuations, and the figure of Flan emerged in his mind. The same hair color and eyes as mine. What a strange person, with strange skills. How can I quickly become stronger like him? This elf-like girl was troubled. Ace tilde tilde. Along with the sound came soft arms and smooth cheeks. Hee hee, why are you in a daze here alone? Let's go shopping together. Ice. Diona rubbed her cheek against Icy's pretty face, and found that her best friend didn't respond for a long time, and blinked a little confused. What are you thinking? Ah, it can't be Flan. And then, never expected, the princess nodded her head. Okay. Really, I'm actually curious too. He's a little strange. I can't say that anyway. Icy tilted her head, her eyes seemed to say, why? It's just his words and deeds, and he looks like he knows a lot, just like Riveria. Anyway, it's just amazing. Che, it's not surprising. It's still too early to catch up with us. The sudden male voice from the tree made Tiona and Icy both look up. It was just watching Bert leaning on the tree trunk and closing his eyes to sleep on the tree, but his tone was a bit concerned. Hey, Bert, you haven't been seen for the past 2 days. I heard that you were free and dragged Grace to the warehouse to fight. Could it be that you were stimulated? Shut up, you hateful Amazon. You still have the face to call me, don't you yourself have a bruised nose and a swollen face all the time? Yeah, Tsunere again. Asshole Amazon, do you want to fight? If you find fault, just tell me I will accompany you to the end. Hey, who is afraid of whom? Stupid wolf, watch your feet. Boom. Ace opened her mouth, not knowing what to do. There was a noise outside the window, and Finn covered his forehead with a headache. How old is this? This is really. It's a good thing our boys are alive, Finn. But it's overactive, Loki. Riveria put the document on the corner of the table, walked to the window and turned her back to the two. It's nice, isn't it? The kids are growing up. Have they been stimulated by Flan recently? Ah, it's strange that the growth rate of the hell is not stimulated. Hee hee hee. Loki took a sip of wine, curled his lips, squinted and smiled. Riveria complained a bit about her. You knew it was going to be like this, Loki. Who knows, Mama-san. Who is Mama-san? Hey hey hey, I heard you gave Flan a magic wand, Mother-san who is full of maternal love. Shut up. PFF'd. The big knife slashed down, dividing the monster in half along the central axis, and the magic stone fell to the ground with a ding. Welf wiped the sweat from his brow and let out a heavy breath. Turning his head to look around the battlefield, he took another breath. In just half a day of fighting, the magic stones almost covered the ground, shining brightly even in the white mist. You guy, how much spiritual power do you have? Is it really LV.1? To be honest, Welf is not a mage who has never seen other families. But it was the first time he had seen a mage like Flan who used magic continuously for such a long time. Well, not much, not much. As the saying goes, good and bad depend on each other. This heavy magic stone is all money. Crazy picking up money. No, Flan who picked up magic stones didn't bother to respond to Welf's complaints. The happiness of picking up magic stones, isn't it delicious? Tisk tisk, look. The metal rabbit's fur has fallen so much. Welf also picked up one and touched it with his hands, narrowing his eyes and raising the corners of his mouth. Not bad, it should be able to create a very good quality light armor. A bolt of lightning flashed across Flan's mind. He seems to have remembered, Belcranel's rabbit kai is made of metal rabbit fur mixed with a small amount of refined metal, right? Although it is not even the third-level weaponry, it is indeed a good thing for ordinary adventurers. Is it worth, like a set of 9800 fair? Blinking, Flan decided to save all the dropped props and prepare to use them to practice. This wild boar's hard leather is also good. Whether it's made into a hard leather backpack, a waist bag, or a leg bag, it's quite suitable. It also has the teeth of a young dragon. The length of the dagger is embarrassing and just right. Tisk tisk, the pollen of the blue swallowtail butterfly, the material of the mental power recovery medicine, is a sought-after item. Harvest, Welf. How poor is this kid? After collecting all the loot, the big bag behind Flan was already full. Calculate the time, it's already noon. Let's go back, the packages are also full. The core is when the package is full. Leave me alone. Well, thank you today for bringing me to the 12th floor. Good guy, why are you so shy at this time? That look, it made Welf feel bad all over. Hey, what's your attitude? It's nothing, I was thinking you have such a shy side too. Returning is much faster than exploring nature. As long as you follow the regular route, you can go all the way without looking at the map. Coupled with the number of adventurers in the upper layer, there is no room for two people to take action. Basically, as soon as the monster appeared, it was solved by the warriors passing by. Along the way, the two were also curious about what they saw and heard. Everyone is carrying big and small bags, and it seems that the harvest is quite good. Looking at each other, they silently followed the crowd up the stairs at the head of the well and returned to the ground. Walking out of the Tower of Babel, the sky is already a fiery red, and the giant wall of the city is also rendered golden red, so beautiful. Ah, the long-lost air. Yeah, the change of mood is really amazing. Let's go. First go to the Tower of Babel facility to exchange the loot for gold coins, and then go for a drink. Ah, okay. Not only the trade union headquarters, but also in the Tower of Babel, there is also a magic stone exchange window. Most of the adventurers returning from the dungeon will exchange their gains for gold coins here. As for going to the union headquarters, there are usually adventurer commissions or other things that need to be handled before detours. Welf waited in the lobby, and Flan came to the exchange window alone. Please exchange these magic stones for gold coins, thank you. Okay, just a second. Poured the magic stone into the tray with a clatter, and then I don't know if I used some measuring tool, a box popped up from the other side, and the inside had turned into piles of gold coins, and I grabbed it tightly. Broke his mind. A total of 52,000 farley, please keep it. Hiss. Carrying a bag of glittering holy gold coins, Flan gasped, not to mention how excited he was. 58,800 farley. A team of LV.1 adventurers with 5 people can earn around 25,000 at most. There were only 2 of them, twice as many as the 5-member team. But, this kind of behavior also attracted a lot of malicious eyes from around. Flan's heart sank, he quickly collected the gold coins and joined Welf. After seeing that there were still partners, those who were full of malice diverted their attention. Tisk, with your perverted magic, it's strange not to earn so much, right? Welf beside him was also speechless. He had already expected it in his heart, so he was not too surprised, at least not as surprised as Flan. Don't forget, the 2 of them still have a lot of dropped items that have not been sold yet. By the way, do you have a way to get rid of the dropped props? Huh. No. I think so, if you don't want to ask your family members. Could it be that your side? Welf gave a thumbs up and showed his white teeth. Don't forget what I do. Flan just remembered, this guy is a blacksmith, it's strange that there is no channel, right? The pollen is sold to the Deancate family, or Mahay family, both of which are from the pharmaceutical department, and they buy this material in large quantities. The rabbit fur and the baby dragon's teeth, since you want to learn forging, how about we share them equally? Yes, internal digestion is the best. In the end, the handling of drop items was decided hastily. Here, your gold coin. Hey. Welf looked stunned. As a result, Flan waved his hand. Adventurer entrustment is an adventurer's entrustment. Besides, isn't the condition of the entrustment to teach me to forge knowledge? Since this is the case, the income from exploring the dungeon will naturally be divided equally. Is my reason reasonable? Welf was stunned for a moment, then laughed. Okay, I'll go back to the family's residence, pack up the equipment, and then go have a drink together. Does the hostess Feng Rao know? Ah, that tavern. I know. It's famous. Okay, 7 o'clock, see you there. Ah, see you there. Flan and Welf parted, happily walking home. Passing through the familiar door, the courtyard is as quiet as usual, but why is there a weird feeling? Illusion. Shaking his head, he put this kind of thought behind him. Everyone is not very busy. The Loki family has a big business. Everyone has a different division of labor, and they have busy things at hand. In addition, they have just returned from the expedition for a few days and need to be dealt with. There should be many things. This is normal, and it is not normal as it was a few days ago. Enter the hall, come to the 4th floor, go straight to the innermost, and finally stand at the door of the house. When the door was opened, Flan's eerie feeling finally came true. The corners of his mouth twitched as he looked at Tiona, Ice, Rafia, and the cat girl Anakiti, with cold sweat on his forehead. Well, trespassing on the men's room is kind of not good, is it? Especially the ladies. And Chi's cold face flushed slightly, her eyes dodged. Rafia had the same reaction as her body was wriggling nonstop. Ace was much simpler, her golden eyes stared straight at Flan, as if to say, I have been waiting for you for a long time. Then, Flan tilde. Tiona opened her arms and hung directly on his arms with a big jump. You're finally back. Confused, what's going on? Are you popular with girls? Wait, isn't opening a harem extremely difficult and terrifying? Why is it a bit of a misnomer? Bah, what was I thinking? Then, wait, Tiona, you come down first. Can you tell me about the situation? Ah, that's the one. Everyone is looking forward to your ability value. Maybe we can find a way to break the bottleneck from you. It turned out to be the case. Also, after knowing that his ability has broken through the theoretical maximum value of S999, he must want to know the follow-up. Okay, I'll take off the equipment and update it, okay. It's like coaxing a child, and it's hard for him. Hurry up. Okay. Ace nodded seriously. You, big-headed ghost. Headache. In the end, Flan was surrounded by several girls and arrived at the door of Loki's shrine. Hurry up. You guys really. What kind of popularity with women is obviously because of ability value. Loki, are you there? I'm coming in. Ah, come in. God is still the same, nothing has changed, even the smell of wine, the same. Perhaps, this is the essence of the gods, eternity. They like the lower realm, because it is full of possibilities and unknowns. They are fascinated by children, and even claim to be gods, and leave the work of the heavens, and they have to go through a cruel competition to get a place. It is said that Rocky got his wish by killing many competitors. Hey, I heard it all. Everyone is looking forward to your ability value update. Flan sat down with his back turned to Loki with a wry smile. It doesn't matter if they know, as long as outsiders don't know. Ha, you're the family's top secret, how do outsiders know? Even that nympho goddess may have missed it. Maybe you really have something special. Updating the ability value went smoothly. There was no upgrade or opportunity to develop ability. The magic and skills remained the same, only the ability value changed. It's just, Flan also discovered a serious problem in today's battle, that is, an abnormal sense of incongruity. Welf said his magic is powerful, is that true? No, he knew in his heart that it was simply because he couldn't control his body well, which caused him to run away. The excessive and abnormal increase in ability value has completely derailed his spirit. If he doesn't deal with this uncoordinated sense of distortion as soon as possible, it will have a serious negative impact on him. Name: Flan Algon. Level: LV.1. Ability value: Strength SS 1001, right pointing arrow SSS 1233, durability SS 1001, right pointing arrow SSS 1233, delicacy SS 1001, right pointing arrow SSS 1233, agility SS 1001, right pointing arrow SSS 1233, magic SS 1001, right pointing arrow SSS 1233. Although Loki had a premonition, he still lost his mind for a moment. It can even improve. Not knowing the look of his master god, Flan urged. Loki, are you alright? Ah, there is no change in the magic skills, just look at the attribute values. Paste the parchment on the back, rub it into a common language, and hand the form to him. SSS 1233. Flan himself was a little dumbfounded. Although not as much as last time, it is amazing enough that this rank can continue to improve after 1000, and the value has increased by more than 200. Ah, 1212.99 should be 4S. Anyway, no one can have this attribute except you. There is no difference between SSS and SSSS. You just say that my numerical value is an unknown that the gods never imagined, so it's over, lazy. Loki opened his divine eyes with a grim expression. You seem to be thinking of something bad. How is it possible? You must be thinking too much. HMPH. Okay, I see Tantilda, you can come in. Boom. In less than a second, 4 girls rushed in. No, Dione, Riveria, Finn, Grace, and even Bert and Raoul were also there. Wait, are the ones behind Alvi and Lee pinching? There is also the chestnut-haired elf royal sister, Miss Alicia. All eyes were on Flan. No, the report card. Don't stare at me like that, it's embarrassing. Flan twisted his body, then tremblingly handed the report card to Ace, who had already stuck it on his face and had bright eyes, in her hand. Sucking, it's the smell of a girl. Boom. Flan, Ace's R. Black miasma was radiating from Loki's body, and he was so frightened. As for everyone, all put their heads next to Ice, staring at the numbers above, not paying attention to the two of them at all. Full power SSS 1233. Hiss. Everyone gasped, their scalps tingling. There was even a momentary blank in the brain, and the breathing became disordered. The gray fur on Bert's tail stood up, his fangs were bared, as if he was about to turn into a beast, and his eyes were red. Are you kidding? There must be a limit to how outrageous this kind of thing is. With little stars in her eyes, Tiona looked at Flan with admiration, and her body was directly attached to it. Hey, Flan, how can I change into your shape? Tell me, Tilda. Tiona, what you say will be misunderstood. I do not care. Isis' gaze shifted from the report card to Flan, and the little IC in her heart kept yelling, quickly change into his shape. As long as you change into his shape, you can quickly become stronger. Could I get stronger fast by being in Flan's shape? I want to. Puff. Everyone was stunned, and then directly spurted blood. Miss IC, why did it become like this, woo. Rifia's big eyes were filled with tears, and they were rolling around. The black cat girl Angie and the goblin Yalicia blushed, covered their mouths and exclaimed. I can't see it at all, Ace would be so bold. As for Loki behind him, the evil god who has turned into the body of the evil god who caused the gods to kill each other at this time, his expression is extremely ferocious. Ace. My Aceton, do you even know what you're talking about? Fool Flan, it's all your fault. What does this have to do with me? Flan shuddered shiveringly. Terrible. The eyes of everyone, as if they were going to eat him. No, quickly retreat strategically. That, I left. Loki helped burn that. Thank you. Hastily left a word, Flan ran away in a hurry, the speed, as expected of a hexagonal warrior. IC was absent-minded for a while, her lips parted, and she raised her hand as if trying to grab something, her heart was empty. Hey, Icitten. Hurry up and smash the terrible idea for us. Loki panicked. As for the others, the momentum seems to have changed. I completely wrote my mood on my face, it's all because of a report card. It's going to be fun for a while. Maybe it will last a long time. Ha ha ha, it's pretty good. It's the feeling of the younger generation chasing after you. The three giants looked at each other and smiled, recalling the feeling of chasing after sisters Ace, Bert, and Amazon when they joined the group. Now, the opportunity to motivate the entire family appeared again. At this time, Flan, who had already returned to the room and closed the door, finally let out a heavy breath, as if he had just been through a death fight due to the mental and physical exhaustion that caused him to collapse directly on the bed. Didn't even want to move my little finger. Boom boom boom. Come in, please. Originally, Flan wanted to pretend to be dead, but what happened afterwards, it was better to forget it. The door was pushed open, and sure enough, it was them. Loki asked us to give you a message, saying that you can upgrade after the last update, but she suggested that you hone your ability value so that you don't upgrade after growing, that's what she said. Flan rolled over and sat up. Then he grabbed the clear water next to him and drank it cleanly, taking a breath in satisfaction. Well, that's what I think too, otherwise I would have wasted the opportunity to grow up. Yeah, we're all like that. Hiding behind Tiona and Icy, Rafia wrung her fingers and lowered her head shyly. What's wrong, Lefia? Then, that is. This shy girl doesn't know how to speak. Fortunately, the kind fairy sister, Miss Alicia, gently touched her head and explained to her. Flan, Rafia wants to practice her skills. You are going to the dungeon. She wants to discuss with you whether she can take her with you. Bring the goblin wizard. This is obviously her leading me. Alright, Lefia is LV.3, and has a super turret with firepower beyond LV. I only have LV.1, and the number of floors I can explore is only 12. If you don't dislike it, it's no problem at all. And I'm right, you probably want to practice parallel chant. Yeah. I've been working out for a long time. Just haven't gotten the hang of it yet. And when it comes to monsters I just don't dare to chant. Okay. Flan knew that feeling. Facing the monster and chant, unable to move, without any means of countermeasures, the feeling of fear that can only be slaughtered by others, the pressure is all on the mage, it is normal to be interrupted without tempering. Then it's done, follow me to the dungeon tomorrow. Thank you Mr. Flan. By the way, in order to celebrate that I made a lot of money today, would you like to have a drink? I made 60,000 fares today, and that's not counting as dropped items. Rafia, Ice, Diona, and Alicia may not have much sense of reality. They are either first-level adventurers, or fairies who are magic nobles, and the tales of Angie cats who are careful are all blown up. 60,000 Farley. LV.1 can, that's too exaggerated. Flan smiled from the bottom of his heart. It's okay, haha. Forget about the treats, Mr. Flan. As far as I know, you still need to buy some equipment. I will definitely go when you return with a full load. The handsome smile was a little stiff. Awkward. Don't say it out, I don't want to lose face. Are all goblins this straightforward? Flan was hit hard. Since you are still busy, let's go if we have brought them all. Well, although it's a bit early, I still say good night. Well, nothing wrong. It was already dark. After taking a shower, he put on the new black pants and cowhide boots that he bought back with a total price of 4,400 fares. Flan went out in a good mood. As the saying goes, don't worry if you have money in your pocket. With a huge sum of tens of thousands of mana, he is confident that he can bear it even if he is eating at the prosperous mistress. Seeing his back leaving the mansion, Loki looked away from the window. He, so what if the nympho goddess has a cheating eye of insight? It's not that our luck is better. Riveria, Finn, and Grace looked at each other with helpless expressions. That's really the case. When Finn joined the group, he took the initiative to find Loki who had just entered the lower bounds and signed a contract. Riveria's bond was created because she longed for the world outside the forest, was being hunted by her father and the knights, and was saved by Loki and Finn. Greg Reese is similar, and was spotted by Finn and Loki. To sum it up, Rocky can have such excellent team members, it's all due to luck. Now with a freak like Flan on board, the future of the Loki familia is bright. Speaking of the ability of Goddess Freya, why didn't you find Flan? Finn bit his finger in confusion. Loki shook his red wine glass, narrowed his eyes and sneered. The possibility of the children of the lower world has long been beyond the imagination of God. It is normal for a child like Flan to appear that even Freya can't see through. It's true, isn't that what you gods are after? The night, like an incomparably wide curtain, quietly opened, covering mountains, rivers, fields, and cities. Magic stone lamps illuminate the main street, and each shop displays distinctive signs. The bustling downtown area is full of people, even more noisy than during the day. For some in O'Leary, the day is just beginning. As said, after exploring the dungeon during the day, adventurers who made a lot of money like to go to the tavern for a drink. Now Flan likes that feeling too. After an exciting adventure, drinking a glass of his favorite fruit wine is not to mention the delicious taste. Fabulous mistress, night is the most prosperous time of the day. In the lobby on the first floor, more than a dozen tables were full, and the guests chatted and chatted endlessly, making loud noises, venting their happy, sad, sour, or sweet moods. It can be said that there are all kinds of living beings in the world. There are happy faces together, and there are also sorrows and joys. This is real life. Standing in a daze at the door of the tavern, Flan sighed for some reason. Yo! Someone patted him on the shoulder, and when he turned his head slightly, Welf greeted him with his white teeth showing. Come on, let's go. Flan smiled and walked in first. The ladies in the tavern saw a new guest coming in, and they happily stepped forward to greet them. Welcome Light, it's you, meow. Anya's cat's tail froze, startled. Hey, little sister Anaya, I'm coming. HMPH, what little sister meow, don't look at her short stature, she is also 20 years old meow. Tisk tisk tisk, you're a year younger than me. On the surface Flan is smiling, but inside he is overwhelmed. It is said that Olali's monster adventurers emerge endlessly. I haven't thought about it before, but now I look at Anaya, Flan feels that her horror is not inferior to his big brother. Now Anaya is 19 years old and joined the Mistress of Abundance 8 years ago. In other words, she retired 8 years ago and is no longer an adventurer. At that time, she was already LV 4 to 11-year-old LV 4. Isn't that scary enough? Meow, boring. By the way, I heard that you lost half your life exploring the dungeon on the first day, and you didn't come here for a drink at night, meow. Hey, is Flan so unlucky? You never said that. Welf also looked curious. When Flan heard this, his face turned dark immediately. Ahem, little sister Anya, will you find us a table first? Yes, meow, welcome to the Mistress of Abundance, the two of you are coming here, meow. Since it was 2 people, she took them directly to the bar. Hey, you are the newcomer of the Loki family. Since you are here, you must have gained a lot today, right? This pressure. Mia Grande, the boss of, the Mistress of Plenty, hides her identity, the former head of the Freya family, level, LV.6. It's okay, newcomer, just a newcomer. Ha 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 ha, new talents should celebrate more, let's have a good meal. He had already had a premonition, but when he was hit hard, Flan still felt blood dripping from his heart. Boom, boom, boom. Several hard dishes were served to the two of them, and of course there was high-quality wheat wine. No matter how dull Welf was, he understood what had happened, and was equally dumbfounded. Well, don't worry about it. It's not expensive anyway. Speaking of which, Mia's mother stared at Flan, the meaning is self-evident. Thank you very much. Ha 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 ha, it's right to stutter and drink, that's what adventurers should do. Flan twitched, picked up the wooden goblet and touched Welf. Cheers. Cheers. Gudong, gudong, gudong. Ha, it's comfortable. The boss is right. It's a pleasure to have a good drink after a day of adventure. This feeling is second only to the sound of blacksmithing. The blacksmith let out a cry that belonged to him. Flan took his knife and cut off a large piece of roast, stuffed it into his mouth with a fork, bulging. Then he couldn't speak clearly and didn't know what to say. Gulu, I said, how about going to the middle floor tomorrow? Quote. Hey, don't take me with you if you want to die, we two are LV.1. I was a little anxious to eat, and I felt uncomfortable. He picked up the ale and drank it clean. Hi lady, serve the wine. Mia's eyes narrowed into crescent moons, and she felt that she would make a lot of money from this kid. Okay Tilda. Wiping the soup from the corner of his mouth, the corner of Flan's mouth turned up. Tomorrow, there is a goblin girl in the family who wants to follow us. She wants to practice her spellcasting skills, that is, she sings in parallel. Although she is young, she is only 14 years old, but she is a real LV.3 guard mage. As long as she is well protected, the middle level should not be in any danger, of course only limited to not encountering abnormal situations. Welf froze for a moment, took a sip of his wine. Tisk, LV.3. That's your Loki family. If it's in other small and medium families, this level is head or something. Hehe, you really underestimated Rafia, she is not the kind of partner who can judge combat power by level. What's the meaning? Family secret. You guy, every time you talk in half, is it annoying? Ha ha ha, anyway, it's very reliable in all aspects, and isn't there me? I'm not bragging, I'm pretty strong, okay. Just at this time, Miss Lu brought the wine up, and happened to hear Flan's bragging. Mr. Algon, no one in the dungeon knows what's going to happen. It's dangerous for you to think like that. PFF'd. Seeing him deflated, Welf burst out laughing. Flan's face turned green. The race of goblins is not against him naturally, why does it always beat him every time? Ahem, Ms. Lu. That, if you can be more tactful. Faithful advice, Mr. Algon. The profession of adventurer is a high-risk profession. I don't know how many people will be buried in the dungeon every day. Maybe the colleagues who were joking with you yesterday will return to the heaven the next day. I believe that even a newcomer like you will take risks. Anyone can understand. As she spoke, she looked around at the customers drinking in the tavern, perhaps recalling some unbearable memories. Kongxi's eyes were a little dim, and this person seemed to have lost his soul. Hey, Flan. This lady goblin should have a story. Welf whispered BB in Flan's ear. Someone's expression twisted, and the corners of his mouth twitched. That was, Gallery, Liu Leon. The top level LV.4. What's the difference between you whispering BB like this and yelling in her ear? Hey. Sure enough, Liu glanced at Welf, and immediately gave up. I'm sorry, Miss Lu. My friend drank too much and was a little outspoken, so just pretend you didn't hear me. Mr. Algon's eyes are the same color as Sword Princess, which is really rare among humans. And it looks, your eyes seem to see through me completely. No, Miss Lu, you must be thinking too much. Unmoved, Liu was already standing upright beside him, just staring at him with unwavering, empty eyes. No, it's impossible for me to feel wrong. From the way you stood opposite the tavern and looked at this place that day, I have doubts. She used an affirmative and certain tone, as if she was saying the right answer. Flan's stiff face finally sighed, raised his glass and took a sip. Well, I do know something about Miss Lu's past, I guarantee that only I know. But the past is a memory after all, time is always moving forward, the past is just a cloud. Don't everyone now live in the present? I think this is very good, what do you think? Liu was silent for a moment, then shook her head. Some pasts leave scars forever. No, you found your home. Flan raised his hand and roughly interrupted the questioning elf's words, and pouted at the other sneaky eyes. That, Mr. Algon. Could you please let go of your hand? It is very rude to directly grab a lady's hand like this, and, besides, it is embarrassing. Hug, sorry. The effect of alcohol made Flan a little bit overwhelmed, and accidentally. Lu's face turned red for some reason, and her eyes wandered away. Great discovery, meow. That little golden retriever brother actually, unexpectedly. He did something that I didn't even do. Anaya went berserk. 4 years, 4 full years. She had never touched Liu's skin. Lu Nova pinched her chin with piercing eyes. Liu actually let a man, no, an outsider meet me, it's unbelievable. I told you the first time I saw brother Flan, he's a bit special. Only Kei Lui was like a detective, as if she had seen through everything. That's Mr. Flan, the rookie adventurer you're talking about. Yes, meow, I heard it's still the meow of the Loki family. Anaya's small face was like a steamed bun, she put a finger on her lips and said happily to, which, Xie with a smile. Seal, full name Seal Feroy. The veritable sign lady of the tavern, the mistress of plenty. With his pleasant and simple personality that can treat anyone without any barriers, he is very popular among the male customers who come and go. In front of her smile that doesn't know what fear is, no matter how rough the adventurer is, the expression will gradually relax. And, she has a pair of eyes that can easily penetrate into people's hearts and souls. But unfortunately, these eyes seem to have lost their application when facing the individual named Flan. The girl squinted her eyes and tilted her head to look at the blonde young man who met Liu. Her cute face was full of curiosity. It's weird. She blinked, and jumped up with her hands behind her back. You are Mr. Flan, and Liu. As she said that, the girl turned her head in a funny way, with a shy expression on her face. Puff. Flan almost spat out a mouthful of old blood, but fortunately he swallowed it back with sure willpower. That, Xie-chan, please stop talking nonsense. I'm not talking nonsense, Liu. This gentleman touched your hand just now. Searle. Tilda Liu looks so cute now, I've never seen Liu like this before. At this moment, Lu Lian doesn't have the cold appearance of Hailwind, she's just a shy girl. Ahem, I'm sorry, Miss Lu, for causing you a lot of trouble. No, Mr. Algon, you have already apologized. Welf was stunned at the side. What's going on with this guy and this goblin? Are the two acting in an idle drama here? Then I have work to do. Understood. In the end, Liu lowered her head and ran away in a panic, and the shop girls who were watching snickered. Mr. Flan can make that Liu, you're special. It's not over yet. This witch has come together. Unlike others, this is the one who hides the most in the tavern, and it is impossible for Flan not to be afraid in his heart. After all, I'm just a newcomer. That's right, to say that it's special, I know someone. This person is still from my hometown. When Xie left happily, Flan wiped off the cold sweat that was not there at all. Welf approached with a playful face. Flan, are you afraid of that girl? He gave him a blank look, as if venting his nervousness. Flan ate his food. Where did you see? Haha, you sold all your fellow villagers. Flan paused, his face fluctuating. Well, he told about Belcrenel, whether it's true or not, it's all true. After crossing over, Flan lived in that village and met this boy. That's why he immediately confirmed that this world is the anchor there. He calculated the current timeline. Belle is now 13, less than 14 years old, so it is speculated that it appeared more than half a year before the start of the plot. This is the opportunity for him to quickly set off for Olili, otherwise this world is so dangerous, if you encounter a monster with your ordinary body, you can basically only play GG. By the way, do you have time tonight? Come with me. Ah, didn't you ask me to teach you the basic knowledge of forging, don't forget. Bringing this up, Flan perked up. Is forging knowledge not knowledge? It's not much more interesting than watching hero calls, idle trivia and so on. That is one of the shortcuts to the God skill. Okay, let's go now. Hey, you don't have to be so anxious. I'm not in a hurry, but you can see that the food is almost enough. Having said that, Welf was stunned. What the hell? Just look at the stack of plates in front of him, it was already empty. After drinking all the wooden goblets, Flan rubbed his belly with satisfaction. This is too delicious. Hi, I'm so full. The main reason is that I haven't eaten such a delicious dish for a long time. You know, the troubles of the poor. And then, at the checkout, Flan shed tears of poverty. 13,000 farleys, a half a day's harvest, one meal. Mia weighed the gold coin and patted him on the shoulder with a smile. What? Isn't this very capable? That's what adventurers dream of, eating meat and drinking heavily. Boss, the boss is right. There was a dull pain in his shoulder, and Julie, who was almost shot dead, Flan quickly subsided. Come again next time, meow. Anaya squinted her eyes into crescents at the door and kept waving her hands, her brown tail wagging. Goodbye, Sister Anya. It's Sister Meow. Ha 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 ha. After drinking for a long time, the two of them walked leisurely towards Northeast Avenue. Hey, Flan. Do you know why I don't want to make magic swords for other people? After teaming up for an adventure, they drank together again, and a solid friendship was quickly established between the men. Oh, this. Let me guess, is it possible that you think that the weapon should be the half-body of the user, and the magic sword will shatter after use, and will abandon the owner, so you spurn the magic sword with such a nature? After all, it is a taboo for adventurers. Does it mean that you can never abandon your partner? You. Welf didn't know how many times he was confused today. Could this guy really be able to see through the heart? Am I right? Big, probably. I hate this. Those guys said that in order to become famous, they need to become stronger. Let me make them a magic sword. It shouldn't be like this. I think the weapon should be with the owner. Grow and become stronger together, not consumables. Flan didn't have this kind of trouble. He instinctively put 2 fingers on his mouth, only to find that there was no tobacco, smiled. Then you have to work hard. As far as I know, a weapon that grows and becomes stronger with its master, it is a god-made weapon that can only be crafted with skills of the gods. Quote. For example, the main god of your family must have this kind of strength. Hey, don't hit me anymore. Isn't that what you guys are after? Why don't you have confidence in yourself? Otherwise, why did you join the Hephaestus family? No, 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 is it because of love? Shut up. Oh, a little sensitive, young man. Shut up. Ha 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 ha. By the way, 10 Welfs are no match for Flan. By the time the 2 of them arrived at his secret stronghold, the down-and-out forging noble had already lost his temper. It's a bit messy, so just make do with it. Flan's secret base is near the edge of the city walls. The place is desolate, overgrown with weeds, and giant yellow trees somehow surround the house, giving it the sense of ritual of a boy's secret base. Or, every boy wanted a place like this when he was a kid. It smells like that. It's messy yet orderly. It's what I dreamed of. What more nonsense are you talking about? When Flan visited his forge hut, Welf had already donned the artisan's clothes. No more nonsense, let's start now. Forging, to put it bluntly, as long as the process is memorized, everyone can become an apprentice. But easy to learn but difficult to master refers to this kind of technology. Welf opened the bag and took out the dropped items that the 2 of them had harvested from exploring the dungeon today. Forging process, summed up, there are only 5 steps in total. 1. Form making 2. Adjustment 3. Melting 4. Casting 5. Post-casting processing. Basically all weapons and armor are built in this way. Of course, this is only a general situation, but for a newcomer like you, it is enough. Now I'm trying to build a pair of light armor, just watch it from the side. If you don't understand anything, just ask. Flan watched his movements and nodded earnestly. That skill can only be honed to the pinnacle of skill after thousands of tempers. Whether it's body art, sword art, forging, or harmony, or gold carving. Moves and skills are dead, how to use them flexibly with rich experience can transform into a master. In the middle of the night, in this desolate part of the city, Flan quickly absorbed the unknown knowledge, his heart was jumping with joy. Loki Family Mansion, Twilight Pavilion. Has Mr. Flan not returned yet? Rifia had been waiting anxiously on the bench in the garden for a long time. Since it was agreed to form a team to explore the dungeon tomorrow, she still wanted to have a good chat. Rifia, go to bed first. Flan is out drinking. But, don't worry, he won't forget. Besides, don't forget, he's a night owl. Well, but I'm so unwilling. The fairy girl puffed up her cheeks and pursed her lips. Ha 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 ha, then tomorrow I will show my skills in the dungeon and impress him. After finishing speaking, the human girl Alvi, that is, Rafia's roommate, pushed her shoulder, and the 2 entered the girl's boudoir noisily. The eastern sky has not yet greeted dawn, and the boundary between night and morning is in chaos. The labyrinth city Orario seemed to wake up from a deep sleep and began to inject vitality. Somewhere in a desolate courtyard, the sound of hammering iron that resounded throughout the night returned to silence. Flan wiped off the sweat from lying down by the fire, and held his first work with satisfaction. It is a belt with 4 double links and 8 hanging pockets on the front and back. The whole body is dark brown, and the dark color is Flan's favorite. The belt is double layered, and when wrapped around the waist, it forms an X shape and gets caught in the crotch. It evenly distributes the hanging bags in the 4 positions of left front, left rear and right rear. The main material is to use the dropped props from the 12th floor, giant wild boar hard skin, and unicorn rabbit fur, plus a small amount of refined metal, mithril, as buttons and card slots, not to mention defensive and functional. The light theory of appearance is indeed top-notch. It's well made, but it doesn't look like your aesthetics are not bad. Welf squeezed his chin, applauding Flan's first creation. Your eyesight is inborn, don't be envious. It's like orcs and goblins, you know what I mean. Don't let those irascible guys hear, or you will have no good fruit to eat. What are you thinking? I'm talking about males. Aren't catgirls, dog girls, and the like super cute? Hey. On the surface, he looks like a serious person, but he is extremely sullen inside. To put it bluntly, he has a lustful heart but no lustful guts. Ahem, Flan, who was drinking water, sprayed it out, cursing inwardly, you are not a good person either. Having said that, you still have to explore the dungeon today. Are you okay? Huh, what are you talking about? It's common for blacksmiths to work around the clock for days, right? You are the mere mage. Flan laughed and said nothing. The effect of reader is doubled in the dark, coupled with the super high spiritual attribute increase. Staying up all night is the difference between having fewer sweet dreams for him. Of course, if it's in a place like a dungeon, it's another story. Let's go. Go back and organize your equipment, see you at the same old time. Okay, I'm going back too. After parting with his friends for a short time, Flan rushed back to the resident mansion at the speed of running in high spirits. As expected, I saw Eskin practicing sword swing in the courtyard. Ace-chan, good morning. The puppet princess tilted her head, expressionless. Cough. Flan couldn't continue the conversation at all, he really wasn't as good as Tiona. That is. The girl was attracted by the object in his hand. The corners of the mouth are raised, as expected, the things I made by myself are to show off to others in order to vent my excitement. How? This belt. So many bags, are they used by the guards? To match the cassock. Sure enough, he is an experienced adventurer, and he can tell it at a glance. As an avant-garde, because they need to face monsters head-on, the supplies will be destroyed in fierce battles, so they generally do not carry other props except for a small amount of spare weapons. The central defender has to take into account mobility, so there are at most 2 bags on the belt, but they will be equipped with leg bags. Only defender mages or healers who take into account both firepower and support do not need to face on, and do not need high mobility, so they can carry a lot of supplies and spare equipment. After seeing this one, Flan installed 8 small bags on the double-cross belt. They all have their own functions, such as drugs, props, magic props, secondary weapons, and so on. Great equipment, and this line of writing, doesn't it? That's right, in a very inconspicuous place on the belt, there is a line of the maker's signature on it. Manufacturer. Flan Algon. For this signature written in a beautiful common language, a deep sense of satisfaction rose in my heart. Ah, it took one night to build, my first work. Icy opened her small mouth, a little adored. It's amazing, a mage from Flan has learned to forge. Far East's words are good, so many skills don't overwhelm you. By the way, I see, I'm in a hurry, so I'll go up first. Okay. After watching them go away with cheerful steps until they disappeared, Icy gradually came back to her senses. She tilted her head cutely and said to herself. Forging, that's part of knowledge too. Mr. Flan is really good. The other side. Returning to the headquarters refreshed, Welf hummed an unknown song and prepared the equipment and props to be carried. Oh, Wei Zai is in a good mood. He even sang it. Let's hear something good. Why you? It was a girl with an appearance resembling a person from the Far East. According to calculations that she could easily stop Welf's neck, she must be over 170 centimeters tall, but she was a half-dwarf, born of the combination of humans and dwarves. Maybe it's because the human lineage is relatively strong, and she doesn't have even half of the characteristics of a dwarf, such as short hands and short legs. It is said that this height makes some ordinary dwarves quite jealous. Different from Alari's mainstream clothing, the clothes or work clothes worn by this girl are also Far Eastern styles unique to her mother's hometown. A short scarlet hakama with a large bandage wrapped around it, and an eye patch worn over the left eye. Tsubaki co-brand, Level 1 Adventurer of LV.5. Although she may look like a woman, she is at the apex of the big forging faction, He Faith Tas Familia, that gathers many senior blacksmiths. She is the strongest blacksmith and head of the familia worthy of the name of Olali. Wei Zai, Shishi, this smell is not the smell of your blacksmithing, it's a little strange. Tsubaki narrowed her eyes and looked at Welf with a strange expression. Hey, don't guess. It's just that someone begged me to learn forging. Oh, you're a newcomer. With your character, you can still teach newcomers. Don't lie. It is true. Hey, tell me. What's your name? It can't be from another family, right? Hey, could it be true? Welf nodded reluctantly while packing his equipment. Ah, from the Loki family. Oh, Loki's family, what's your name? I met Finn another day to find out. It happened that I haven't hugged Xiaojung to sleep for a long time, I miss it a little. Flan Algon. Chun folded his arms, and thought for a long time with a blank face, but he didn't have any clues. It stands to reason that the Loki families are close strategic partners with their He-Faith Toss families. They almost know each other from the main god down to the team members, and many blacksmiths have signed exclusive contracts. Now there is a name that she doesn't know, she can't help being curious. Flan Algon, never heard of it. I only heard the young man say in a bad mood. It's said that you are a newcomer. Also, are you busy, woman? There should be a lot of orders to be completed, right? Why are you still stuck here? Woo. Wei Zai actually hates me so much. Excavating poor acting skills. Cut, it's boring. Someone came here yesterday to order the magic sword. It's not my business. I'm talking about you, you know that field, and you want to get close to that field, but you still naively think that you can catch up with that without giving everything. You idiot. As if suddenly changed person, Tsubaki's eyes flashed fiercely. Stupid obsession, sometimes you regret it. Facing the silent young man, Chun put down a harsh word and left angrily. The good mood is gone. As if loathing himself, Welf laughed at himself. Twilight Pavilion. Putting on a brand new belt, putting on a pure black cloak, and carrying a backpack to the hall. Mr. Flan, sorry. I'm late. The panting fairy girl put her hands on her knees, gasping for breath. Looks pretty rushed. No need to apologize, the timing is just right. Actually, I just came here too. Have you brought all the supplies? Well, it's all in the backpack. Leave it to me. The person with the lowest default ability in the team will be the supporter. Your task is to chant magic and destroy monsters. But so many things. Flan raised his eyebrows, a little Zhongyang. Ha, compared to goblins, human beings are much stronger, right? Don't forget, I'm a movie star panel, a whiteboard super soldier, and I'm carrying a bag, what a joke. The people standing on the stairs watching the scene were speechless. It's true that standing up and talking doesn't hurt your back. We also want to be a panel actor, whiteboard super soldier, etc. Tion's fist clenched with a click, and black miasma rose slowly. What should I do if I want to hit someone? Beat that handsome face to pieces and crush the bones. Tiona hurriedly supported her runaway sister from behind, even though she wanted to go up and kick her. As for the others, they also had different expressions, but what happened to that expression of wanting to try? I'm talking about you guys, why did you still grab it when you were a supporter? Riveria covered her forehead and shook her head. Hurry up if you want to start, you still have teammates waiting. Flan slapped his head violently, a little annoyed. Ah yes, Welf forgot, let's go, Lefia, see you all. Come on, you two, stay safe. Don't worry, I won't let Lefia get hurt. Wow. Good, what a bold statement. Tiona, Alicia, Elvie, and Lee pinched the girls and screamed, praising Flan for the straight ball. Ah, what are you thinking about? You are so ashamed. Not to mention Rifia, her pretty face and pointed ears were flushed red, and her ponytail kept flicking wildly. Ha, Rifia is so cute. Noisy, compared to exploring the dungeon alone before, this time not only was there a partner to see him off, but also an extra fairy girl. And, Flan knew he was stronger again. I have to find an opportunity to hone my skills, my body is getting more and more out of control. He frowned secretly, temporarily suppressing this matter in his heart. The panel actor, super soldier or something is nice to say. In fact, it is a panel idiot who has no moves, no game skills, and no combat experience. Only use attributes to suppress and recklessly. Adventurers who are dominated by ability values generally don't live long. This is the consensus of everyone, so this hidden danger must be resolved as soon as possible. Mr. Flan, is there any concern? You goblins are just too stubborn. Just call me Flan. Don't add Mister, it will make us look distant. Okay, okay. As for worrying, well, to put it bluntly, it's nothing. You heard me mocking myself as a panel actor. No, that's not the case. Flan who can kill a saber-toothed tiger with his bare hands is not an idiot. Rafia was very excited about this, because it was something she couldn't do. In her eyes, the behavior of the youth is undoubtedly a kind of adventure, which is worthy of praise and respect from others. That kind of shock, for Lefia who was born in the school district, is undoubtedly the way of the protagonist in the fairy tale. There's no need to comfort me. To put it bluntly, I'm still too weak. By the way, do you goblins eat meat? Hey. Rafia's mind went blank due to the sudden switch of the topic, and she couldn't keep up with Flan's thinking jump. No, don't eat. Eat, that's good. You only prepared some portable dry food for lunch, right? How can this work? As an adventurer, I decided not to lose my stomach. After speaking, Lefia, who was at a loss, dragged her to the bakery in the busy street. Ma'am, 3 loaves of bread, double cream. Okay. Rafia, you are waiting for the bread here, I'll go over there to buy others. Wait, Flan. Completely ignoring her advice, Flan went to the barbecue shop on his own, bought 3 more pieces of barbecue and put them in a lunch box, and picked some fruits at the same time. Even this guy frantically bought 2 bottles of fruit wine and secretly hid them. Is this something new adventurers dare to do? Whoever goes down the dungeon is not nervous and concentrated, how can he be like going to a picnic like this? It's been a long time, let's go. Rafia's eyes circled, she couldn't believe what Flan was doing. What kind of adventurer is this? Don't worry, Rafia, with our strength, we are more than enough in the middle level. Also, if we can't fight, we can run away. Saying that, he winked at Rafia. Flan is really. With the fairy girl whose pretty face was still blushing, the two merged into the crowd and finally came to the central square. Yo, here we come. This is your family. Smiling, Flan put his hands on Rafia's shoulders and pushed her out. Let me introduce to you officially, the excellent successor of our family, Lefia Verides, LV.3 Mage, Guard, a 14-year-old fairy girl this year. Not only is she powerful, she is also very cute in appearance, but she's just a bit shy. But as for the person she admires, it's Sword Princess, Ice Wallenstein. Quote. Ah, what are you talking about, Flan? Huh. Isn't this a well-known thing? How is it possible? Even I know. Paji. Rafia seemed to be drained of all her energy. The duck fell to the ground, her dejected eyes circled, and her long pointed ears drooped limply. She was so cute. Ha ha, really, very special, ha ha ha. Welf laughed in embarrassment. This girl was a little too shy. Get up, Rafia, the white stockings are dirty. Humph. Okay, our goal is the 13th floor of the middle layer. Let's experience the pressure a little bit first, and do reconnaissance for the formal exploration later. As for tactics, we'll talk as we go. Pulling up Rafia, who was still limp, the 3 of them walked up the stairs leading into the large hollow in the dungeon. Different from yesterday, the pressure of 3 people will be far less than that of 2 people. Because the range of vigilance for each additional person will be reduced, and the battle will be more calm. Welf's position remains the same, serving as the vanguard and scout. No problem. Then there's Lefia, you, as a guard mage, are the key protection target, and you stand behind Welf. Okay. As for me, I am in charge of guarding the rear and the rear. As a supporter, my task is to protect Rafia from harm, and at the same time collect magic stones, drop props, set traps, and make maps. The team advances in a file. Welf is in charge of the front vision detection, Rafia is in charge of the left side, and I am in charge of the right side and behind. Do you understand everything? Okay. No problem. Let's go then. Perhaps, for their strength, the upper arrangement is superfluous. However, a dungeon is a dungeon, so you can't be too cautious. 12 floors of the underground labyrinth. The sound of fierce battles, the sound of the collision of weapons and the roar of monsters are mixed together, which makes people's hearts surge. Ding, ding, ding. The broad-bladed machete and the weapons from the natural weapons arsenal are constantly intertwined. Facing the large, half-orc, With a height of more than 3 meters, even though Welf had the upper hand in terms of weapons, he was not at all superior in terms of pure strength. Stop back. In addition, Flan is also dealing with hordes of unicorn rabbits, and the spare dagger number 2 keeps flashing white light and shadow, breaking down the monsters one by one. Ho 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 ho. At this moment, in the invisible fog, a huge black figure appeared again. Not good. On the front left, there are 3 large species. Welf, shrink the defensive circle. Drink. I've already done my best for one, if it doesn't work. The liberated light arrow, the bow stem of the holy wood, I am a famous bowman. Stop it. Goblin archer. Pierce through. The arrow that must hit. About 10 meters away from the battle between Welf and the monster, the fairy girl chanted a magic spell in a beautiful and rhythmic tone. Arc rays. With a sound of shoo, a thick golden light shot out from Rifia's hand, the shining brilliance traveled through the space, and hit the huge body of the enemy almost in the blink of an eye. Boom. There was a loud noise that shook the eardrums, and the half-orc who was over 3 meters tall couldn't bear the huge damage from the light at all, and was beaten into fly ash screaming. However, the magic light did not complete the task and disappear as in the script. It once again drew a beautiful arc, and killed the 3 monsters that appeared later and had not had time to join the battle in an instant. Only in this way did they dissipate. Good. So strong. Welf raised his right hand that was trembling with cramps, cold sweat broke out on his forehead. If it wasn't for Rifia's timely support just now, he would have been injured by the enemy's blow. This is the romance of magic, chant. Magic without chanting has no soul at all. Like a child who is picky about onion and ginger, Flan is quite disgusted with magic without chants. The reason is that there is no sense of ritual. Or, not enough for the 2nd grade. To use magic, you must at least shout out the name of the move, so that you are passionate enough. Well, Mr. Flan, is this level understandable? Thank you, Lefia, I have fully understood. The tone of the chant and the mobilization of spiritual power, much more complicated than my additional magic. Master Riveria told me that this is the nature of magic, ultra short chant, long text chant, and finally super long text chant. The longer the magic that needs to be chanted, the more complicated it is, and correspondingly, the more powerful it is. Of course Flan agrees with this point, and he even looks forward to it, the moment when he releases the wide area annihilation magic of the ultra-long text. Don't talk about this, Flan, do you feel something is wrong? The frequency of spawning monsters was not so high when I came to the 12th floor last time, and the density of monsters was also the same. If Miss Rafia wasn't there, I couldn't handle it at all. While recovering the magic stone from the monster's corpse, Flan lowered his eyes and thought quietly. It's really a little strange. It seems that something else has been mixed in the monster group just now. Is it my illusion? Rafia, on the 12th floor, there are usually only half-orcs, silver-backed apes, and small devils, right? It seems that there are at most only young dragons or something. Yes, that's usually the case. Hey, Flan. What's that? Following the direction indicated by Welf, Flan and Rafia looked over. In the white mist, countless pairs of red eyes appeared one after another. They were the eyes of monsters. 40. 50. Are you kidding? That's too much. Flan also had cold sweat on his forehead, and his expression was slightly stiff. Not scared, but angry. As for Rafia, she was holding the staff, her body awkwardly stuttering. Monsters Banquet, an abnormal situation. Monster Banquet, also known as monster proliferation, refers to a certain phenomenon that begins to appear on the 12th floor. A large number of monsters of the same type will be born in the dungeon, and they will be used as a killer blow for adventurers. Flan picked up the last magic stone, straightened up, his expression calmed down. The dungeon judged that our team's condition is not good, so it decided to push us into a desperate situation. Is that what it means? It was the first time for Welf to see such an abnormal event. Obviously his experience was not as good as the 2 who were born in the Loki family. You mean, under certain circumstances, the dungeon will judge the status of the adventurer by itself, and if it thinks it's time, it will be like this. Ah, that's why I said that the dungeon is alive, that's what it means. A dungeon is a dungeon, you understand. Then what should we do now? This is beyond what we can deal with. This amount, if I do it, I won't be able to continue to explore it. After all, I'm only LV.1. What we have to do now is to protect Rafia and let her use wide area annihilation magic to clear the field. You are the captain, you have the final say. After saying that, Welf and Flan stepped forward side by side, protecting Rafia behind. Pulling out the scepter in his left hand, holding the dagger upside down in his right hand, and holding a tube of recovery medicine in his mouth, Flan gave the order without looking back. Rafia, chanting magic. If you fail, I don't need to say what will happen. The best situation, today is a waste of time. No, it should be said that you have lost a lot of money to enter. It's unlucky. Yes, maybe. Ming, I understand. The girl summoned up her courage, and her blue eyes got rid of the shadow and confusion caused by excessive stress. Using the end. Ragnarok. Black flames and dark red thunder and lightning entangled, swung the scepter and shot. Pyro explosion, out. Flame explosion. Boom. Following the explosion, Flan narrowed his eyes and lightly threw the dagger in his right hand, changing from a reverse grip to a pronated grip. Sulcher. The next second, he stepped on his left foot suddenly, shaking the air wave and the ground, and his body turned into a black flame and rushed over. Lefia held her wand tightly in both hands, watching the violent figure flying up and down among the monsters. Is that the magic that belongs to Flan, Surtur? The same additional magic as Miss Ice. Ah, Lefia, what are you thinking at this time? You should chant magic. The girl's tangled heart was finally taken back. Welf, narrow your defensive circle around Rafia. If you see the big tree, go around behind it, and the number of monster attacks will be reduced. I use pyro explosion to pull the monsters that have left the battle line. As long as they rush towards Lefia, I will deal with them in advance. The task is not to kill monsters, but to hold them back. Ming, I understand. The purpose changed from killing to holding, so the process also changed accordingly. Hide and pull if you can, and pull if you can. It is much easier than breaking through the defense of monsters and killing them. Even Welf relied on a big knife to keep the number of monsters far beyond what he could handle, and kept them out of the battle line. On the other side, Flan, covered in pitch black flames and red thunder, did not fight the monster head-on, but flew a kite with a one-hit and retreat tactic. But because of the awkward feeling of physical and mental dislocation, he repeatedly used power beyond imagination, very annoying feeling. The figure of the two people on the front line fighting the monster with all their strength made the girl want to respond to their struggle. This is what she should and must do, her own battle. Lefia's almond-shaped eyes widened, and she unswervingly began to sing her own chant. O proud warriors, O archers of the forest! The approaching marauders are ahead, take your bows. Respond to the voices of your compatriots, knock your arrows to the string. The chant of the goblin was like a stream of fresh water in the fierce battle, washing the hearts of the two of them. The crimson magic circle suddenly unfolded, and countless magic elements began to gather around Rafia. She is like a bright light that illuminates the way forward. Light up the flames, the lights of the forest. He cut off the enemy's neck with a knife, and blood sprayed on Flan's half-body. Before he could deal with it, the sharp sound of cutting the air rang from beside his ears. With a bang, the flame called destruction defended against the enemy's siege and destroyed the enemy's weapon during the attack. Order you to shoot the arrow, the fire arrow of the elf. Borrowing the inertia of being attacked, using the left foot as the axis, it rotated itself, raised the right leg and kicked the enemy's head. Suddenly falling like rain, burning the barbarians. That is the melody of hope, a song called victory. Back off, Welf. The chant had come to the most passionate end. Flan called out to his companions and retreated to Rafia's side. Salvo fire javelin. The sky flickered for a moment, innumerable bursts of fire and rain. In the next second, endless golden arrows of light fell from the sky, like a heavy golden rain. The flaming arrow-shaped magical arrows drew arcs in the air, with the sound of violent burning, the sound of wind cutting the air. The light arrows hit, piercing the enemy, causing a fire. The by-light arrow shattered the ground, tore through the fog, and set off the rock plate. It destroys everything it sees, be it an imp, or an orc, or even a dragonling, no exceptions. Welf was frightened by the terrifying wide-area annihilation magic used by Lefia, and couldn't recover for a long time. There were dozens of monsters, and most of them were large-scale ones. Generally, a team of at least 10 adventurers, with skilled cooperation and unified command, was needed to cope with this situation. Of course, it also consumes considerable weapons and supplies. If they are lucky, they may be able to welcome the victory as a whole, but under normal circumstances, they will be seriously injured, right? At the same time, a large amount of gold coins must be lost. From then on, such a medium-sized team will start to go downhill until death. However, in this hopeless situation, under the attack of Lefia's shelling magic, they were all wiped out with one blow in such a grandiose way. The guard magician, the shelling magic that determines the victory with one blow, and the company that burned the enemy to death. There is no ash left. Although Flan knew about it, it was also the first time he saw it with his own eyes, and it was quite shocking. Wide area annihilation magic, an extremely rare type of magic. A strategic level magic of Libra that can definitely decide the outcome when used. How lucky, Welf sighed. He looked at the elf girl who was a bit shy on the face but full of courage in the eyes with complicated eyes. As for Flan, he doesn't have time to feel what Lefia and Welf are thinking. Perhaps for Flan and Welf, this is a huge pressure, the dawn of hopelessness. But it was different for Rafia. She was LV.3, and the monsters here did not threaten her. Even if there were more LV.1s, it was impossible to save her life. Perhaps this is the reason why the magic can be successfully chanted. But Flan knew that the child had a sense of fear when facing powerful monsters, and even if he chanted the spell, it was out of tune. Maybe there's not enough pressure here, but it's enough to be able to exercise. The girl with excited eyes was excited alone. Flan squatted down and squinted his eyes to look at the things on the ground, his heart turned cold. This position, leave first. Rafia, Welf. I can't do it alone. You guys also come to help recover the magic stones and dropped items, and then let's get out of here quickly. He didn't talk about the ominous premonition in his heart, but just urged his partners to speed up their work. Okay. Ah, what a bumper harvest. Miss Lefia's magic can actually leave a magic stone. Tisk tisk, it's much better than some idiot. Flan admits that he can't control the power of magic because of his physical and mental dislocation, but that's not the reason for your ridicule, you fool who made trouble. I made 40 or 50 high-quality magic stones in one go, which is considered a big profit. Among them are the skins of young dragons, the bones of orcs and other dropped props. They're all good things. Magic stones alone can be exchanged for hundreds of thousands of gold coins. As for props, they can be used to practice hands. Let's go, enter the middle level. It was a huge, dark room. Darker than a dungeon, silent. Only 2 primitive torches were crackling, burning. Is it done? A voice came from the only stone seat in the huge room. The words were full of playfulness, joy and madness. Sorry, my lord. Let them escape. HMPH, a bunch of trash. Forget it, just drive them away. Nothing was found. Yes, it seems to be a newcomer. It doesn't matter, as long as they don't find out. You should be more vigilant when you move the monster next time. You all know what will happen if you leak the news, right? Yes. Hey, wait, you fools on the ground. The darkness that hides in the darkness rolled a little bit. That was the real disaster. How could someone who thought he had no flaws think that one of the 3 rookies could see through the existence of her plan in an instant? It's just that Flan kept it to himself. He's still weak, not just because the enemy doesn't want to expose himself, but so is Flan. TCH, a bunch of jumping clowns. Glancing in a certain direction with disdain in his eyes, Flan secretly raised a middle finger. You guys' eyes have been astigmatized since just now, what are you thinking? That's what I want to ask too. It's nothing, I'm thinking about what to do with these dropped items when I go back. You know, build and complete the equipment yourself, and give it the feeling of signing. Ah, a deep sense of satisfaction. Rifia's face was dazed. What they were talking about, she couldn't understand at all. What does Rafia want? Tell me and I can satisfy you. As he said that, Flan also looked at the fairy girl with a smile. Fairy's interpretation of beauty is always amazing, even the 14-year-old Freya's clothing is also great. White suspenders and stockings are paired with strappy princess shoes, and a princess dress with a butterfly collar is paired with a pink dress. She is a beautiful girl. Mr. Flan, I think you're looking at me strangely, please don't. Hey, don't be so blatant, You fool, I can't take it anymore. Tisk tisk, do I look like the look in your eyes when you look at your master god? Nani, what are you talking about? Ah, that's the one, the love between man and God. Shut up. Rafia blinked and unfolded a small theater in her little head. Welf looked at his main god with the same eyes that Mr. Flan looked at me just now. People, the love between God and man. With a bang, Rafia blushed and passed out. Hey. Struggling in the dark, I only felt my body shaking constantly. The vision changed from blurred to gradually clear, and Rafia's thoughts finally returned to the present world. Where is this? The body is still shaking. Well, what kind of smell is this? It smells good. Also, it's so warm. Why am I on Mr. Flan's back? The blonde young man with the girl on his back turned his head as much as possible, with a playful look on his face, and he even picked up the goods in a funny way. A certain girl fainted directly after being stimulated by the love between man and God. Sure enough, this kind of adult topic is still too exciting for a fairy of your age. Ah! The girl's scream pierced the air, and Flan almost fell to the ground. Welf, who was walking in front, turned around helplessly while carrying the supporter backpack that Flan should be in charge of. He raised his eyelids and looked at the screaming fairy girl on Flan's back, sighing bitterly. Tone. This is also the 13th floor, can you make the atmosphere tense? I say you. Saying this, his eyebrows were still trembling in a funny way. It was obvious that Flan had exposed his mind, and he was a little cowardly. Hastily immobilizing the struggling elf girl clinging to her body, Flan's lips curled. With your magic, can't hellhounds be easily handled? As long as you wander carefully at the entrance of the passage, there is no danger. At worst, let's go back to the 12th floor. And thanks to Rafia, the backpack is full today, so I will try it a little bit. Go back right away. Che, your character is really suitable for adventurers. Flan threw his head back, and hit Rafia with a boom. Is profit first, this is the nature of human beings. Just give and don't get anything in return. Sorry, I can't do it. Too realistic. Flan wanted to say something, but in the end he couldn't compare to a LV.3 elf girl, so he let her go. The girl puffed her cheeks, pursed her lips, and stared at Flan, blushing and vicious. What's the matter, Rafia? Isn't the man's shoulder to be relied on by the girl? This is the legendary encounter in the dungeon. Mr. Flan is a bully. It's Flan, sir, that's an awkward word. Humph. The shy girl is arrogant. Flan and Welf looked at each other and laughed. As a result, Rafia completely ignored the two of them, it was so annoying. Tower of Babel Exchange Facility, Gold Exchange. As expected of Rafia, I earned more today than yesterday, 83,000 fares, and I got 29,000 fares, enough for me to get a set of forging equipment. Welf patted his shoulder jokingly. Tisk tisk, the rookie is finally about to start. Ah, we will be competitors in the future, probably. Competitors. Ha 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 ha. Don't tease me, you are still far behind. Flan smiled meaningfully. Do you think that the mental enhancement of the reader is only the ability of photographic memory? In fact, the real use of the spirit is the catalyst of the mind, skill and body. It may take a month, 3 months, or even half a year or a year for others to master a skill. For Flan, who has a strong spirit, it may only take half a month, a few weeks or a few days. This trend will become more and more obvious with the sublimation of his attributes. What is Shueba? This is called Shueba. It is because of this card that he puts his physical problems to a later date and solves them all at once, such as after upgrading. Then let's go. We need to rest for a few days and hone our skills, so we will contact you next time we explore. Ah, I am the same, with so many dropped props, I can do a good job. The eyes of the two blacksmiths were full of fighting intent, in Rafia's view. Let's go, fairy girl. Don't call me by that name. What's that called? Miss Goblin. Mr. Flan is a nuisance. I never found you so funny. Welf saw people off, listened to their noisy din, shook his head with a smile. Walking all the way home, Flan and Rafia's mentality gradually relaxed. Twilight Pavilion. The huge mansion building wanders under the fiery red curtain wall, which has a special charm. The noisy voice had already reached the ears of the two of them before they got close. Obviously, Everyone was still full of energy after venting for a day. Stinky wolf, get out of here. Since you dare to question the leader, I will definitely kill you. Flan and Rafia exchanged glances, then shrugged and walked through the door. Miss Tion, why are your eyes dull and black, miasma still radiating from your body? It's so scary. Ah, Rafia. You have to remember that women in love often have negative IQ and EQ, but such women are indeed the most persistent, stubborn, and terrifying. Don't fall into this vortex in the future. Flan is giving the goblin girl science and fallacies again. Hey, who do you think has a negative IQ and EQ? The terrifying woman diverted the target of hatred, with her hips crossed and her expression gloomy, as if water was about to drip. I mean in the story. When it's time to be cowardly, it's over. What do you do to be brave? Shame on you. Not at all. HMPH, fool Bert, get out. Watching the terrifying woman leave, Flan and Rafia trembled. Is this the woman in love? Shish, Rafia. Just know it in your heart. Hi, Rafia, Flan. You're back. On the sky corridor, Tiona and Icy stood together, and the Amazon girl leaned out and waved at the two of them non-stop. Ah, back. Rafia saw the person she was looking forward to, and ran in bouncing and full of excitement. Flan looked up at the huge mansion, and his heart was filled with warmth. Does it feel like home? Nice. Putting the equipment back into the house, Flan went to the bathroom with a change of clothes. Turn on the shower, and scalding hot water washes every part of the body, washing away the fatigue of the day. Recalling the battle in the dungeon, Flan slowly summed up his gains and losses. Rafia has learned 2 magic spells, find some time to have fun. In terms of moves and games, there has also been a slight improvement. Is it because the monsters have no intelligence? PvP, I might not even be as good as a rookie. Battle experience can't be rushed, and skills and moves are also hard work. Gambling depends on combat IQ. If you want to improve these, you have to find a partner to practice, who can be selected. Any partner in the family can do it. The rest is how to use the development ability to obtain the attribute value of knowledge growth. Turning off the switch, drying his body, and putting on a brand new stand collar shirt and trousers, Flan stood in the corridor enjoying the evening breeze. There is a lot more money on hand, let's build yourself a similar equipment first. In the next few days, he decided to stay at home and improve himself as much as possible, in preparation for exploring the middle level. The leap of a large class is no joke. Monster level, refresh frequency, number of refreshes, and the monster banquet that appeared on the 12th floor, the landslides and shafts of the cave labyrinth. There are too many things to pay attention to, it's troublesome to death. I don't want to go to sleep. The bright moon recedes, the morning sun rises, the light dispels the darkness, and lights up this labyrinth city in the sky. Flan, who got up from the bed in a daze, faced the window with dazed eyes, sat cross-legged in a daze for a while, until he was attracted by the golden hair in the courtyard, and the pupils of his eyes gradually became focused. Without disturbing the girl's morning exercise, she withdrew her gaze and glanced at the backpack piled up in the corner. Give it back to Raul sometime. Get up and wash seriously, put on black-soled underwear and brown leather boots, and then go out to eat. Except for having breakfast in the mansion's large cafeteria on the first day, Flan either read all night or stopped by to buy some food on the street while exploring the dungeon, and he hasn't been here for a long time. Last time, because most of the members went to the expedition, it seemed very deserted, but this time it was a completely different scene. Go through the corridor and open the door. Immediately afterwards, the loud and noisy atmosphere completely overwhelmed Flan. Look up. Whether it is the grassroots members or the main members, almost all of them are here, but it's just that they don't see the big 3. Presumably, they are afraid that they will affect others when they show up. This is the same as the leaders eat in the cafeteria. Hi. Flan. Why are you here? Tiona was always the first to say hello, which was almost becoming a routine. That's right, as far as she has the most cheerful personality, if you want IC to yell like this, it will be a broken character. Greeting kindly to the surrounding members, Flan walked straight over. This location is a bit too eye-catching, I'd better eat in the corner. Is there any? I don't know how to explain it. There are 4 rows of tables in the cafeteria, 2 of which are against the wall. Diona and the others are in the middle, and the members on both sides can see them when they look up. The conspicuousness doesn't feel good. Being pointed at during meals, Flan was too shy. Ah, I'll go cook first. Greeted them, and simply served a bowl of seafood soup, 2 sandwiches, and fried egg and an apple. Then, just as he said, he walked to a corner and sat down alone to eat silently. The chef's craftsmanship is awesome, crouching tiger, hidden dragon in the family. Drinking delicious soup and eating delicious sandwiches, Flan's expression softened. It is a kind of enjoyment to relax and eat quietly. In the words of Mia's mother, people live to eat and drink, okay. Although very simple, but it does tell the true meaning of life. Maybe that's why she opened an adventurer's tavern after she retired. After experiencing the adventure between life and death, Flan gradually realized this. Maybe it should be called growth. While enjoying the delicious food, his thoughts drifted away, until a familiar scent came into his nose, that was, the unique body fragrance of a girl. Through the reflection of the soup in the bowl, a touch of gold floated away. The movement in the hand paused. Reluctantly putting down the spoon, Flan's cheeks twitched as he felt the peeping eyes of the surrounding members and the weird sudden silence in the hall, among which the gaze from Rafia was particularly terrifying. The fairy girl's expression seems to have been played badly, the blackness is terrifying, she will be killed. Under the tingling atmosphere, Flan moved his lips and pulled out an ugly smile. That, ace. Okay. You, big-headed ghost, why are you sitting here all of a sudden, isn't this setting me on fire? Also, it's embarrassing for you to look at me like that without saying a word. Interacting with teenage girls who lack affection gives Flan a headache. Do you want to practice sparring? I can see that the sense of disobedience and incoordination in your body when you walk is because your attributes have improved too fast and you can't control them mentally. It was rare for the girl to say so many words in one breath, and her little face was full of seriousness. Flan touched his nose, smiled wryly and said, "You see it." With her back straight, Icy was sitting opposite him, her gentle and quiet posture was quite ladylike. I can't see the madness when facing monsters at all. Well, not only me, everyone can see it. This is embarrassing, he thought it was well hidden, but everyone knows it. Leaning back, a little discouraged, a little headache. I originally planned to solve it after upgrading, but when I went to the dungeon yesterday, I found that things were not simple. The sense of confusion has seriously affected the battle. Let me help you. Won't it take up your time? No, I'm free. As a family official, it's not good to say that, is it? But this is the truth. The work of the family members is handled by the big three, and the grassroots tasks cannot be taken over by these cadres. I have nothing to do all day long, except go to the dungeon to spawn monsters. Then please. And me, Flan. Let me teach you how to fight. Tiona, what's the matter with your malicious eyes? I have a bad feeling. What's the matter? How is it possible? It must be your illusion. How could we have other purposes for practicing with you so kindly? He squinted at Tiona who was holding his arm, and he expressed doubts. Intel. Puff. A kick kicked in the face, and flew out like twisted circles. Before he fell into a coma, he finally realized why Tiona and the others lined up so eagerly to train him. This fool is clearly beating herself for a legitimate reason. Am I against you? Get up, Flan. This is too weak, and what happened to that move just now? Are you joking? Tione took a few steps forward, picked up his collar and pulled him up from the ground, shaking him constantly, with a teasing expression on his face. Sister. I fainted again. It's my turn. Oh, I haven't played enough. It's been a long time since I encountered such a durable sandbag, my hands are always itchy. Listen, is this human speech? Yet someone cannot escape the clutches of these demons. When he woke up again, the opponent had already been replaced by a little angel. I'm going up. Come on. Flan swung around with his bare hands, only to see a shadow, and then he passed out again. The top floor of the tower, the head's office. Riveria, who was standing in front of the window, could not bear to turn her face sideways, covering her forehead and sighing. Tian and the others are not merciful at all, really. Finn put the processed documents aside and took a sip of water. The panel actor or something, it must have aroused the excitement. I understand that feeling tilde. The big dwarf warrior sat on his special chair, the whole body was stuffed into the chair, and the chair seemed to be split. The full ability value is SSS, and it is still improving. Such a baby must be tempered well, and it will definitely be the trump card of the family in the future, so it is good to suffer a little more. Speaking of which, Riveria. That kid has the skill of educated scholar, which is almost the same nature as Rafia. When are you going to teach him magic knowledge? Well, wait until he's leveled up. Now is the best time to lay the groundwork, and I don't want to distract him anymore. Finn put his hands crossed in front of his nose, and said with a smile. I heard that Flan is already an apprentice blacksmith, and even forged a belt himself. Nani? Riveria turned around abruptly, her expression stunned. He even learned blacksmithing. Could it be possible? Do you want to learn the development ability of forging when leveling up? Quote. Finn nodded, and then showed a slightly envious expression. It's because of his skills. Acquiring more knowledge will allow him to level up quickly. It's not just forging, maybe he also wants to develop mystery. Riveria murmured. Building weapons and making magic items. These two systems are really huge, and they are very suitable for his development ability. But whether they can be triggered or not depends on whether they have talents. Mysterious, the owners of the whole city are no more than 5 fingers. Finn narrowed his eyes, as if pointing. His reader skill allows him to learn knowledge quickly and keep it in mind. If you analyze it carefully, you will know that the 3 skills of reader, educator, and infinite super magic are completely complementary and perfect systems. I am a little envious. Ha 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 ha, don't talk about you, the old man is also very envious. I don't know what kind of persistence made him brew such an ability. Skill is also called mind crystal, conceived from the infinite possibilities of children. For example, Icy, the strongest PvE output skill, Revenge Princess, was triggered by her hatred of monsters. Well, young people have youthful things to do, and us old guys have our own things to do. How are the preparations for the next expedition going? Grace is in charge of weapons and equipment, he nodded. I have already entrusted Gubanu's family, and He-Faith's family, but because the number is too large, it will be difficult to complete it in a while. It should wait for a while. What about props? Riveria shook her head. It's not ideal, not to mention common props, there are not many special ones such as special antidote, elf cloth, and panacea on the market, and much worse. What's more, rare materials are in short supply. I heard that the Ganesha Familia also failed in the expedition. Did this lead to the loss of rare materials? Yeah, after all, there are only a handful of families that can reach the deep level. It's difficult. If you want me to say, it's fine to leave it to the trade union. Originally, they were the ones who ordered the compulsory expedition mission, and they should take part of the responsibility. Finn thought for a while, and finally clapped his hands and decided. Okay, Loki and I will go to the guild headquarters tomorrow, and Amon's fat pig won't have any blood. Ha ha ha, anyway, the union has plenty of money. At this time, as the president of the union, Amon, known as the pig of the union, did not know that a knife was already on his head. In the courtyard of the mansion. After Flan didn't know how many times he woke up, he could still hear the excited chirping of the girls in his ears. Vaguely something, this punch in the face is so relieved. It's been a long time since I feel so comfortable. The little aggrieved eyes are so funny. And so on. These hateful female demons. Flan's forehead was throbbing with veins, and he ran away in an instant. Come again. Boom. Naturally, he rolled his eyes and passed out. This time it was Sword Princess Ice Wallenstein. Can I have a lap pillow, Ace? Icy tilted her head with a flat expression, then knelt down on the ground and patted her knee. Is this what it feels like to be a winner in life? The beautiful girls need pillow or something, although it is still not perfect through the boots, but who else can do this step? Wow, Ace is so active. Sniff, what kind of smell is this? It's sour. Fool Flan. I'm going to duel with you. Rifia's whole body exploded, and rushed forward with a black face angrily, shaking his head vigorously. Stop. I'm dizzy. Hurry up and leave Miss Icy obediently. You fool, you are despicable and arrogant. You actually defiled Miss Icy, I will fight with you. Then, Rafia was raised up by Tiona with a smile on her face, kicking her legs non-stop, yelling something, "I'll kill you within 3 days." Noisy, although it is a good experience to train with the eye-catching young ladies, but it is also very strict. It was just a day of exercise, and by the end of the night Flan felt sore and limp, with pain signals everywhere. What's even more frightening is that even with his super high durability, he was beaten black and blue. I feel sorry for the recovery medicine of 1000 farley, hiss, it hurts so much. It deserves it. Rafia puffed her cheeks and cursed angrily. He blinked, instinctively ignoring the fairy girl. Sure enough, the goblin is his nemesis. Flan, continue tomorrow. Don't be late. The girls bid farewell to themselves with smiles, then ran away laughing, leaving him disheveled in the wind. A bad daily life is really a happy trouble. Hey. Shaking his head and sighing, he walked out slowly. I asked Welf before to help him buy a remote forging workshop. It's a bit rudimentary, not as good as Welf's stronghold, but it is said that tools and so on are readily available, so Flan decisively paid the purchase price. This cottage is also located in the industrial area of the Northeast Division. It only takes about 10 minutes to walk here from the resident mansion in the North District, and the distance is quite close. Standing on the weeds in front of his own workshop, Flan looked around and nodded with satisfaction. That guy has a heart, buy him a drink next time. From now on, this place belongs to me, Flan Algon. After speaking, he got in with a big bag on his back. As described, the basic tools are all available, neatly hung in a row on the wall. Not only that, there are even sewing machines, various types of forging hammers, and iron felts. Very well, let's begin. He rubbed his hands, opened his backpack and took out all the dropped items. There's still a lot of fur left from the magic rabbit, as well as the hard hide of the giant wild boar. The palms of my hands were blistered from the high-intensity battle when I swung the dagger last time. Let's make a pair of gloves first. Whether there are gloves is very critical in the battle. Some monsters are very insidious, such as monsters with special attack abilities. You must know that the hands are directly connected to the weapon. Once the hands are injured, most of the adventurer's direct combat power will be abolished. Well, the standard glove style, there is an upgrade space reserved on the back of the hand. With a general plan in mind, Flan started to work. On the other side, in the conference room of the hall, the senior management and cadres of the Loki family were drinking evening tea here. Flan ran out again. Ice nodded, and then Tiona revealed his purpose with a smile. I heard that he bought a forging workshop, it seems to go there. Grace stroked his beard and laughed boldly. Ha, that brat moves very fast. I thought he would save gold coins for a long time. Tiona hugged the elf girl who was shy because she was leaning against Icy, and rubbed her face affectionately. It's all thanks to Rafia. It is said that they encountered the monsters banquet on the 12th floor, and gained a lot. The royal elf picked up the teacup and took a sip gracefully, sitting directly opposite them. So that's it. In this way, our family also has our own blacksmith, which is a bit extravagant. Well, isn't it good? At least you can spend less money on expeditions in the future. We are also very tight, okay. Loki drank his wine, his eyes narrowed. Speaking of which, Loki's familia will almost empty out the family's wealth every time they go on an expedition, which is also an important factor why such a large family has been living a tight life. Thanks for watching.